All right, so you know that we're taping these. So if anybody's in the witness protection program, stay away from the camera. But we're going to tape these so people are going to see it. So I do a quick intro. Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine, and this is my twin brother, Jeff Markow. He was born first. And Jeff, I own Emery Thompson. Jeff owns, what's it called?
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Mystic Ice Cream.
Mystic Ice in Fruit Loops, Florida.
Mystic Ice Cream.
Mystic Ice Cream in Fruit Loops, Florida. And we're going to teach you today as much as we can about making ice cream. I get something special. You're not going to make me wear this all day. He paid me $15 to wear this for 5 minutes. Just a quick bit about Jeff. Jeff, one day, many years ago, sat in the back room of this small hall here where we're going to teach you today. If you're watching this on tape, there's a large number of people here. And he sat back there, and you could see his eyes going back and forth and thinking about it. And he was coming to the conclusion, and you started with a countertop, right, Jeff?
Yes.
You started with a countertop batch freezer?
Yes, 6 quarts.
He's sitting in the back room thinking, wow, if that idiot, Steve Thompson, can make all that, imagine what I could make. And that's what started his business. And Jeff today is gone from 750 square feet up to, I think it's 3,300 square foot store, and he's about to take over another one. So that's just a typical success story of what goes on in our business. I put people into the Italian ice business who start with a push cart, and in a few years they've got a huge wholesale business. Most people open up one ice cream parlor, but the desire is always there to open a second or third or fourth. So you get a lot of names that you would know, like Salt and Straw and Molly Moon and these other companies all started as one place and then grew from there. So we're going to make a bunch of different products today, and please ask questions as we go. I'm going to start with the CB-350 over here, our countertop machine. And the first thing I'm going to do is sanitize it. I want to kill off any bacteria that was in here from the last time I ran it. And there's, of course, bacteria just in the air. And so I'm going to use Sterashine. Excuse me, sir. I'm going to use Sterashine, which is a chlorine-based product, and will kill off any bacteria that's in the machine. So we just stir that up. It dissolves very quickly. And the health department likes this Sterashine because it's a product that they know. Make sure the gate is closed, and we're just going to pour this in. And as soon as this hits the stainless steel parts, it's going to be sanitized, but we're going to turn it on and make sure it gets everywhere.
This one's done already?
Not yet. So I'll give you this afterwards, Jeff.
Now, can I take the water that comes out of there and use it in here?
Why not?
Okay.
It's sanitary.
There you go.
It's sanitary.
Just being a little frugal. So if you have 6 machines, all you need is 1 bucket of Sterashine water. Go from machine to machine. And as Steve said, you know how long it takes to sanitize it? 1 second, right?
That's right.
Right. So why is it still running?
Well, I was going to say, some health departments might say run it for a minute. Some might say run it for 3 minutes. You listen to what they say.
But the reality is
1 second.
That's it.
Jumping forward a bit, when we finish making ice cream or ices, we will have it spinning and we'll have the refrigeration on. We're going to turn off the refrigeration, and this thicker product is going to then drain into the bucket. Right now, I've just got water in here. If I open up this gate, the first row is just going to get soaked because it's just water. It's not a thickened product. So I'll turn that off and drain that out. All our freezers have a slight tilt to the barrel, so it's going to drain out everything completely. Yes, question?
How long do you wait? Does it have to dry?
No, you don't have to dry, because if you read and follow the directions on the Sterashine, it's ready to go right into the next run.
Hello? Come on, give me a peace sign. Peace sign. There we go. Never thought
really
I'd see the day.
This is really getting terrible. All right, so that's for you, Jeff. You know what? I am going to do just a quick rinse, though, because I like to make sure that it's completely
you never did
cleaned out.
that before. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no, I've always done that.
Now, Steve, truth be known, this is done at night after you finish. When you reassemble the machine, you run, we run the sanitize through it then, and then close the machine, and we're all ready for the next day.
Okay, but what happens if in overnight Ebola...
Somebody comes in and does that?
No, Ebola virus takes over all of Fruit Loops.
Then it won't matter anyway, will it?
There you go. Most health departments will say sanitize just before you start making the product, because you might not make product again for 3 or 4 days. So sanitizing it tonight isn't going to do you any good. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But then Jeff and I, you'll find out, disagree on almost everything. So again, as soon as I put that in there, it's rinsed through. I stop it, take it out. We'll let that drain out. Here's the first product I'm going to make this morning. I'm going to make a chocolate Italian ice, one of my favorites.
Do they have an itinerary? Do they get an itinerary?
They're going to get them now.
Okay.
And this will be the formula. I'm going to do it with a twist. I always have to do something a little different. Italian ice is sugar, water, and flavor. And that's all it is. And then its fancier, more sophisticated big brother, big sister is sorbet. Sorbet is also sugar, water, and flavor. So people are always saying, well, what's the real difference between sorbet and Italian ice? So let's say I'm making a chocolate Italian ice. That's a chocolate Italian ice cup, and I'm going to sell it for about $2.75. This is a fresh chocolate sorbet served in a fine French restaurant, and I'm going to get $7.50
I saw him before.
Same product. Only the name and the price changes. There is no difference. Sugar, water, and flavor. So that's what we're going to do. Sugar, water, and flavor. My flavor is going to be a Forbes chocolate. And so let me look at the recipe and see what I'm going to do. Let's see. Are there any leftovers of those? I updated it at the last minute. There we go. I'm going to use a pound of Forbes chocolate. And I need 2 quarts of water, so I'll start with that. Okay, in case the camera didn't hear that, the question is, do you need to purify the water? Great question. Here in Brooksville, Florida, which is almost as remote as Fruit Loops, we haven't seen a tourist in 300 years. So if I'm selling Italian ice here, Wikiwachi, that's a whole different world. If I'm selling Italian ice in Brooksville, Florida, I don't need to purify the water because my customers are people who grew up here. They're used to the water. They don't know that New York water is so much better. They have no reference point. So no, I don't need to do anything to the water. However, if I go down the road to Miami, Miami is a whole bunch of New Yorkers, down for the winter, and they know a different type of water. They know New York water, where we have this wonderful filtration system. It starts up in Mount Kisco, and it's a series of screens that catch the dead bodies floating in the reservoir, and then it goes downstream and gets purified even further. That water has a certain flavor to it, so if I'm in Miami, yes, I've got to filter the water to make it neutral. I've got to take the minerals out. Here, I don't have to because nobody's had any water different than what we're doing. I need a large bucket. What can I use for that? Okay, that'll do. So this is my 2 quarts of water. What's next? A pound and a half of agave. Now, instead of using sugar, which is the normal way to do it, I wanted to do something a little different for the healthy people, so I'm using agave.
What is that?
Agave is a sugar that comes from cactus, and it's used to make tequila. So it's got to be good. And the thing about agave is it's a little sweeter than sugar, so I use less by volume. But also there's this thing called the glycemic scale. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm insulin dependent. I wear a pump on me. And on a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being the worst for you, 0 being the best as far as sugars, cane sugar is up at 92, and agave is down at 27. So this is a healthier product. I wouldn't make every single Italian ice that I ever make out of agave. I'm not sure I would even make any of them out of agave, but I wanted you to see that it can be done.
Have you ever done it?
I've done this many times.
Oh, okay.
Using alternate sugars. So we're going to pour this in.
Is that 1.5 pounds?
I don't know. We got to weigh it.
It's by weight, huh? Even though it's a liquid.
Yeah, that's the way I've worked it out. I do. I don't find a whole lot of taste difference between the two.
What's the difference over it says 1.5 pound agave, and how much does you gonna put inside?
Well, it's probably 2 pounds of sugar normally, right?
Yeah, so it would normally be 2 pounds of sugar.
Normally 2 pounds of sugar in Italian ice.
But you know what? We're going to do it the ultimate way, and that is taste test it. We're going to see what it tastes like before we
Now
freeze
you're
it.
talking.
So that's 1 pound, 8 ounces.
Close enough, right?
That's a start.
Certainly looks good.
Looks yellow.
The spatula's right here.
Okay. And see, the nice thing about Italian ice is you can taste it as a liquid and know exactly what you're going to get before you freeze it.
What are you doing?
I'm going to put more in.
You said 1.5 pounds.
Oh, that's right, 1.8. Okay. We'll have it in case we need it. Now the sugar, the
Chocolate powder.
cocoa powder. I'm using a Forbes cocoa powder, which is a company I like. There's a number of different chocolates out there. Benjamin P. Forbes Company is out of Cleveland, Ohio. They've been around for over 100 years.
And what would we use?
Giardelli.
Okay.
So they're going to be comparable. It's all chocolate is very subjective. My wife Paula likes 80% cocoa candy bars. If you've ever tasted an 80% cocoa chocolate, it's like eating chalk. Horrible. She loves it. I think M&Ms are the be-all and end-all of chocolate. That there's nothing better than M&Ms.
No, there isn't.
So it's all personal taste.
What are we opening
Of course,
that?
you have a knife.
Well, of course. Every man carries a knife.
That's right. Thank you. And what we got? How much is that? 1 pound.
1
I'll leave that
pound.
to you.
1 pound. 1 pound. Something dry.
Where do you get all your mixing containers?
Excuse me?
Where do you get all your mixing containers?
Where do you get yours, Jeff?
I steal them from you.
Any of the restaurant supply houses. Webstront
Website.
is a very good one, a very big one.
Restaurant Depot.
Restaurant Depot, yeah.
1 pound?
Yeah. Two quarts of water. And I'm going to put a splash of vanilla in here.
That's right here.
Okay.
You're going to dissolve this in here. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know you don't have to.
I don't want to gum up the machine.
Well, you won't gum it up. These machines, are you kidding?
No, no, not that way. I want to make another batch, so I don't want to have to clean out cocoa powder everywhere. Excuse me, coming in.
That's it?
Yeah.
What vanilla extract do you use?
Say it again.
What's your vanilla extract of choice?
I'm using Lockhead. George Lockhead is the president.
And a good friend of yours.
And a good friend of mine. Lockhead Vanilla is an excellent product. you've heard a lot of the controversy about pure vanilla is up at around $600, and it's a long story that we could go into, but Jeff says I'll have your eyes glazed over telling it, so I'll avoid it. This is not what they call a pure vanilla. This is called an all-natural vanilla, and that's good enough for me. And so instead of $700, it's about $110 a gallon. And I know Jeff makes his own, so there's different things that you can do there. Again, chocolate and vanilla are a lot of personal taste. Yes.
This recipe is specific for this machine and not the 24?
That's right. So all you'd have to do is take this recipe and multiply by 4. And now you'd have it for the 24 quart. I did pass that part of math in school. Failed on metric. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our product. It's not a full batch. Oh, we didn't taste it.
Well, now's not the time.
Sure it is.
We'll taste it when it's mixed up thoroughly.
All right, we'll do that. Okay. Yes.
How much more for the full batch on that one?
What did we put in there? About
You can 2.5.
We put 2.5 quarts in. You could put in 4.5.
So 4 quartos.
So we're going to hit Italian ice and start. And since we are using a powder, even the chocolate companies say if you could do this a couple hours in advance or the night before, the chocolate will age better or it'll diffuse better into the product. We don't have the time to that, so I'm going to just let the machine do it. And I'll give it a try. Actually, I'll let Jeff try it. We'll let Mikey do it.
Don't worry, you got somebody
There you
here to
go.
clean up after you.
Yeah, that's true. I have someone to do that. What do you think?
Excellent.
Right as is?
Excellent.
It's a little bit of a small batch. All right, so we're going to turn this on. We're going to hit Italian ice and start and refrigeration. And there we go. Now that's running. Now, since it's a brand new machine, you're usually standing around. It's like buying a new washing machine. You actually stand around and watch it spin for a while. But after you've owned it for a day, you realize that's a waste of time. So you set a timer, and I'm going to just set this short. You set a timer so that now you can go over here and you can be rinsing things. You can getting ready for your next flavor. You're not just standing by the machine. You're getting your tubs ready, everything ready to go. You do not go out and sell ice cream cones. And you don't get on long phone conversations because the time will pass too quickly and all of a sudden your machine has stopped because you overfroze it. It's going to protect itself. So do keep an eye on it. We do not put timers onto the machine for a very good reason. It's like baking. When I watch Paula bake a vanilla birthday cake, she sets it for 350 and sets the timer for 22, 23 minutes and then goes off and does other things. When the timer goes off, she comes back and doesn't take the cake out and say it's done. She checks it with a straw or a fork to see if it's ready. Because if you had a cake that had more sugar in it, like a fruit cake, it's going to take longer to cook.
What'd you call me?
So, a fruit cake, like we made last time.
Right.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, that was good.
So every ice cream is different. The higher the sugar content of a product, the longer it takes to freeze. So I don't put a timer on the machine. I don't want it automatically shutting off. I invented something in the early 70s that another company stole and called Hard-O-Matic, but I didn't want it anyway, where it measured the amperage load on the machine and then would shut it off at a certain amperage. But nobody said, everybody said, Jeff would have said back then, even though he was in diapers back then, why would you do that? You know, why do you bother? Why put that gadget on there? So making ice cream is like baking or cooking in your home oven. You set an approximate time and you keep an eye on it. So this is going nicely. And yes, question. I'm sorry, what? If I did a full batch of Italian ice, it would be ready in about 12 to 14 minutes. On the bigger machines, it would be 16 to 18 minutes. Gelato is going to be same as ice cream. It's going to be about 8 minutes. So it's less. It's faster. Anybody else so far? We're doing okay? Yes. Oh, this is a great crowd. A lot of questions.
A lot of questions. They're cheap speed, though.
Are you able to make one of the recipes today, a gelato, or you're not ready for that?
I didn't set up for it, but I'll certainly tell you about it. It's Jeff's going to be making ice creams today.
What was the question?
About making gelato. The two differences about gelato is instead of here we go. Instead of using a bag of Oreo cookies to make Oreo cookie ice cream or mint to make mint chip ice cream, a gelato is going to be an Italian flavor. This company, Fabri, I think is the best in the world. They're out of Bologna, Italy. They're as old as us, 114 years. And I set that really short, but I just wanted to take a look. Okay. So your Italian flavors come from Italy. The Americans do not make Italian flavors. I'm sure you could produce your own. You could produce a biscotti flavor. Tiramisu would be a little harder to do, but certainly you could do a hazelnut. So the difference in gelato is on my infinite overrun control, we hit the gelato button, which is going to lower the speed of the drive. And so gelato has less air in it. It's Italian flavors, and it has a lower fat. We're running from 10% up in fat content, and gelato, one person told me very well, he said, it really depends on where you are in Italy. If you're in Milan, it's 9 to 10% fat. If you're in Rome, it's 6% fat, and if you're in Sicily, it's 4% fat. And I asked the obvious question, why? He said, because in Sicily, they can't afford a 9 or a 10% fat gelato. The prices have to be lower. So it's a lower air content, it's a completely different flavor, and we spin it at a slower speed. Other than that, what Jeff's going to make for ice cream, they're identical. Let's see. Yeah, I really like this Fabri company, and they have offices around the country, but their headquarters for the United States is in New York City. You can call up Fabri USA, and you'll find it there. So I have some of their flavors up here.
They ship anywhere?
They ship all over the world. Anybody here Italian that can pronounce this? Fruto de Sciroppo. Sciroppo. Fruto de Sciroppo.
So it's fruit. You have a recipe for gelato and ice cream?
Ice cream. But of course, you can convert anything. It's just the speed.
We have gelaterias now selling Oreo cookie gelato and mint chip gelato, and this wasn't heard of years ago, but nowadays this is what the public demands. The one difficulty you have with gelato is a mother walks into a store and she has her 5-year-old daughter in tow, and the daughter is not pulling on her mother's dress saying, "Mommy, may I please have a tiramisu?" or "May I have a pistachio?" Kids want mint chip, Oreo cookie, mousse tracks, flavored salted caramel. And so you've got to sell, if you're going to be successful, you've got to sell what the public wants. If I was doing a gelateria or an ice cream parlor, I would have maybe 6 flavors of gelato. I would have hard ice cream and Italian ice. I would have a variety of products because
sir.
I want to get to everyone.
Yogurt on those machines?
Make what?
Yes, frozen yogurt. Absolutely.
So what's more popular today? Is it Because I know that yogurt shops are all over.
Yogurt's dead.
Yogurt's dead.
Those people are all going out of business as fast as they can, and they make great stores to take over because some other poor person put $150,000 in plumbing and electric and signage into that store. So you want to take over that store.
What about between gelato and ice cream? What's the better one? I know you said have a little bit of each, but if you wanted to go one or the other, is it better just to go ice cream and not gelato?
I'm going to just interrupt you for a second. I'm going to pull this out now so you can see it. This is not a full batch that I made. But look how that comes out nice and fast, and I think you're going to find this pretty delicious. Wasn't that quick? Wait till you try it.
We have no scoops. So use this.
How about that? How about we put in squeeze cups?
Okay.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to give it to you in a traditional New York way of eating it. So if you're not from New York, I got to teach you. This is called a squeeze cup. It's a pleated water cup. You get outside of, you go west of the Hudson River and ask a paper salesman for squeeze cups, and he'll look at you like deer in the headlights. They don't know what it is. It's a pleated water cup like a lady's dress. And I'm going to show you how to eat this because this is the way we eat it in New York. I'm going to put some in here, but we would fill that up with ice, and then we squeeze it up from the bottom. Oh, that's too good to give away. This is good. So you eat it like that. It costs next to nothing to do, and it's fun. Holy cow. That's a good one. So come on up, and I'm going to serve you a squeeze cup full of Italian ice. Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go. Oh, you'll be begging
Look
for
at the
more.
color of the. Huh?
It's beautiful. No artificial anything in here.
Hey, does this thing give you the clearance you need for the air? If you put it up against the wall?
No, you have to have it out from the wall a foot and a half on all sides.
Good morning.
It's an air-cooled machine. It'll overheat if it doesn't get air. There you go. So your food cost on this is about
It's laughable.
$10 for a 3-gallon tub. $10 to make a 3-gallon tub, and you're selling it for say $275. That's about $260, $270 of gross profit.
Thank you, sir.
Take away the $10, so you're making $260 per tub of Italian ice. And as you can see, your paper goods, you're not giving a spoon and a cup. You're doing this, which is a lot of fun, and it saves a lot of money.
Paper cups. Remembrances of my youth.
Yeah, squeeze cup. Pleated water cup.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is good. Your book.
That's Jeff.
What is that for?
What is it for? Oh, 50. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
normally
sorry.
it's
This
60.
is
Makes me sell
chocolate.
for 50.
Can you put one on the hold for me?
Got lost.
This is
Yes.
chocolate Italian ice. And you squeeze that up from the bottom.
Are they for the 24 quart?
Any machine. I have different, in the book, there's different quantities for different machines.
Oh, great.
I'm going to talk more about Italian ice when we get to the next flavor, but I'm going to turn this over to Jeff now, who's going to make a fabulous ice cream for you.
Can I ask a question about that one?
Yes.
So it feels smoother than regular ice. Is that because of the agave?
Yes. The agave made it smoother.
No,
Also,
I got to disagree. In my making of ices, it's smoother because of the machine. I'm not promoting his machine, but for some reason, I've made it on other machines, and it really is smooth on this machine. And it's 234, right?
yeah.
And it's a true 234.
you can't compare speeds because an RPM red line on your Volkswagen is going to be different than your Vet. One last thing about ices, but I'll have more to say about later, is depending on where you are in the country is how it will affect your formula. In New York, I have at my website my world famous Italian ice recipe, lemon ice recipe. 7 pounds of sugar, you don't have to write down, but 7 pounds of sugar, 14 quarts of water, 2 quarts of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Let's forget the lemon juice for a minute and look at the water and the sugar. The water, 14 quarts, is never going to change because we're going to get 2 tubs out of the machine. The sugar is what changes. In New York City, I use 7 pounds of sugar. We have a certain way we like our ice. You go down to Philadelphia, and the name changes from Italian ice to Italian water ice. Same stuff, except it's smoother. What makes it smoother? There's an extra pound of sugar in it. It's not 7 pounds of sugar now, it's 8 pounds of sugar. You go out to Bay 8th Street in Brooklyn, where everybody's Italian and only speaks Italian, and they're going to sell a very coarse, crunchy Italian ice that they call granita or granite. And a granita is only 6 pounds of sugar. So 6 pounds in Brooklyn, 7 in the rest of New York, 8 in Philadelphia. You get up to Rhode Island and they sell a perfectly awful product called Dell's Lemonade or Richie's Slush. And I do it at the Universal, SeaWorld, and Disney and Six Flags. And that product is only 5 pounds of sugar, which to me is so low that it just totally lacks taste. But it sells a lot of machines, so I tell you about it. Yes?
Can we equate then increased sugar with increased smoothness?
Absolutely. Increased sugar is going to increase the smoothness. And the agave is smoother than cane sugar. The one thing about agave is if you buy it in a specialty store, a container like this is probably going to be $7 or $8. If you buy it at the supermarket and they have to bring it in special for you by the case, it's going to drop down to about $4. So if you like using the agave, buy it at your supermarket and have them special order it for you. But otherwise, 99% of the time I'm using just plain pure cane sugar. If I'm want to make an impression out in San Francisco, I'm going to use organic cane sugar, which means I just paid more for it.
That water, that's Brooksville water, right?
Yes.
So I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the difference. That tastes
Couldn't
great.
tell.
Yeah.
That was the best ice I've tasted.
But when you get to lemon ice, you'll taste the difference in the water. It's not as critical. Anybody from New York like me, we know that you can't make a decent bagel or a decent pizza with the water down here. It can't be done. You need New York water. It makes a big difference in baking. It doesn't make as much difference because we're putting in so much flavor. The chocolate's hiding a lot of stuff. But the lemon ice, it becomes more clear. You have just a pure, clear taste of the lemon, and so you can taste a water that's got too many minerals in it. So again, it depends on where you are. If you're dealing with a bunch of people down on vacation, I might purify the water.
Okay.
It's all yours.
Kind of speed it up a little.
Yes.
What about, can you use fresh fruit like cherry or watermelon?
Yes, I'm going to do that in my next flavor. I'm going to pour fresh fruit right into the machine. The machine's, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to make a blueberry, I'm going to make a strawberry Italian ice next, and then Jeff's going to make a strawberry ice cream. We're both going to put the strawberries right in the machine. So I'll turn it over to Jeff, and I'll be back.
Okay, ice cream now. Creamsicle ice cream. We'll see how this turns out. We're going to start with, this is the mix. You know about the mix. So we'll use 5 quarts of mix.
What percent butterfat you
What do you care? It's 10%.
This is a mix for gelato?
No.
You have different mix.
Yeah. Gelato is usually 8% butterfat. This is 10. You can buy this for ice cream 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, even 22. So basically what we're going to make is vanilla ice cream. right? Basically, what we're making is vanilla ice cream. It's the teacher in me, you know. That was the most effective, when they just stopped and stared, you know. So we'll make vanilla ice cream, and then we're going to put a variegate of orange stuff through it and hope we get creamsicle out of it. Instead of just a mere variegate, we're going to try to put a river through it. So we'll pour this. Oh, this is tenuous. Nailed it. Oh, I think that's a 90. Look where it went. It went in the bucket. All right. A little vanilla, because I'm not paying for it. So we'll put in 5 ounces of vanilla. What? The recipe? No, I've never made this before. So we have 5 quarts of mix.
Okay.
Now in my machine, we use a 24 quart, so it would be 10 quarts. A 24 quart machine is, in my opinion, the ideal, because all of my recipes are based on a full bladder. So 1 full bladder, 10 quarts, and then I just add other stuff. This couldn't be simpler. Okay, so we have, and I use 1 ounce of vanilla for each quart of mix, of cream. So we have 5 quarts of cream so far, and 5 ounces of vanilla, approximately. And a little spillage, too. What? Oh, okay.
Translating, Jeff.
Yes, okay. And we'll throw that in there. So we're going to make vanilla ice cream, because creamsicle traditionally is vanilla ice cream with orange sherbet running through it. I guess I should have made sherbet. Yeah, you think so? No? Because I can still make sherbet first, and then go to ice cream, and then somehow blend them.
What do you think you need to do it? Yeah.
Whatever I think I need to do?
Yeah. Do both.
No, we're not doing both. We'll get greedy. It's free seat here. What do you think? Sherbet, okay. Okay. So we're going to make orange sherbet first. So in other words, we're going to take some out. We don't need equal parts of sherbet to ice cream. But what the hell? Let's do it anyway. Now, to make the orange, I was in the market last night, and I saw these orange shells, Conchita orange shells, which is simply, you can't tell because of these can openers, but it is, well, see if you can see it when I pour them in here. They're, como se dice orange shells? No, they have to hear it in English.
Oh, the way you said it.
He was setting you up.
Yes. Okay. It's an orange that they do something to. I don't know. It's, but it should work. I don't know. We'll see how it tastes. If it's no good, we simply won't do it again. And then you'll take that page that she's writing on, rip it up, and it's done. And I bought a thing of FCOJ, Diga FCOJ, frozen concentrated orange juice. And a little orange mystery sauce.
Is that color?
Like
What's that?
Is that like a dye color?
No way.
No?
That's how it grows.
So what was that? Secret recipe?
Secret sauce.
Secret sauce. Now what we have to do is puree it. Good color. All natural.
Just one can of the orange, right?
Yes.
How much was it?
Okay.
Put some vodka inside, maybe?
What?
Some vodka inside?
You could, but we won't. So what we're going to make now is sherbet, right? Well, I have too much cream and I need water. So let's draw some cream off and substitute water. What's the formula for sherbet? Come on, guys. 3, 2, 1, right? 3, 2, 1. 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of sugar, 1 quart of this. Or a little more. So what we need to do, we had 5 quarts in here, so we got to take 4 out. And then we need to put in 2 quarts of water. No, 3 quarts of water. What you see is the vanilla. All right, we'll save this for the ice cream part. We're making orange sherbet first, then we're going to somehow get it into the vanilla ice cream and make real creamsicle instead of just a variegative creamsicle.
Sounds good.
Okay, you got your button on it.
You bet.
All right, so now we need how many quarts of water? 3. 3 quarts of water. And sugar, right? What? 2. How many pounds of sugar?
2.
Good. 3, 2, 1. 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of sugar, 1 quart of mix. Right?
You say so.
Well, for cream ice, sherbet.
Yes, absolutely.
Not a real hip class here. But they'll get better. 3 quarts of water. We need a faster faucet here.
I know. Let's bring in a fire hose. Any questions? No,
How many ounces was the
I have
orange
questions. What are we doing?
I'm sorry, what?
How many ounces was the orange shell can?
I don't know. It's in the trash already. We may not. Well, let's see if we like them first.
34 ounces, 2 pounds, 2 ounces. 34 ounces. And the brand was
All right.
Conchita.
Now, 2 pounds of sugar. I don't have any sugar here.
I have sugar.
Okay.
Right here.
2 pounds of sugar.
Oh, we must have a bag over there open.
No.
Where did it go? Didn't my formula call for sugar?
No, you used agave.
Oh, I used agave, of course.
Okay, while he's preparing 2 pounds of sugar, this isn't on the 3, 2, 1. Why?
I don't know.
Because we don't know. We're going to see what we think.
Okay,
We'll put in a little. We'll see. We think we need a little more. You know, that's how it goes. So let's start with a quart. All right. Where's the water? In the machine, right?
Put it in.
So that'll be under the mix.
We put that under mix? Is that the one? Is that going to be the mix? Or
One is the mix. One is already in there.
Okay. And what was that? The milk?
Ice cream mix.
Okay.
Cream.
Oh, okay.
So we have 3 water, 2 sugar, 2 pounds of sugar, and you got the 3, 2, 1?
I got the theory.
One of my bags of sugar partners.
Now we're going to mix the sugar in. Because we have the world's greatest mixer here.
I'm sorry, I guess I'm missing something. The cream that you put in the beginning, you originally put in a full bladder, and you put it. It was 5 quarts, and you took out 2, so you started with 3 quarts.
No, I took out 4.
Okay, so you start with 1 quart of that, then you're adding this.
You need to stay after class.
Well, I was in your class yesterday, so, and then 2 pounds of sugar, and now you're adding another quart of mix.
Okay, hang on. So we put in 1 quart of orange substance. And now we're going to see if we need more. We probably will have more.
So you're just kind of playing with the how much you needed that orange stuff.
Right, we're going to taste it. We think the mixture is good and it'll taste fine, but now we need to know how strong we want it. So we'll try it. Damn, that's good.
Don't you love it when it works?
Well, of course we'll add more, but it's really good. Oh, it's really good. Let's just add a little more.
Now, who's writing down your formula for you?
They're all writing it. She's the secretary back there.
Okay. Because what happens on something like this is you hit on the perfect formula and then you realize you did 2 others before, and now which one did I use and what did I put in?
We'll go over it right now. We'll go over it right now. Aside from starting with a full machine full of cream, we did have 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of sugar, 1 quart of mix. And then we have, in the blender, we put, a big can of, 34-ounce can of orange shells. And that's a Hispanic food. You could probably peel some oranges, throw them in the freezer, and then put them in the Ninja. However you think. Or you can buy canned orange. This is it, okay? Orange shells, they call them. They also have guava shells, mango shells, all that stuff. So I got orange shells. And then we added frozen concentrated orange juice.
Hey, Jeff, are you going to freeze this or just make it?
I'm going to, well, because immediately I have to make vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
So.
But are you going to turn that on?
Yeah, after it's mixed. It's ready? Okay. You going to turn that on? Okay, on. Where were we?
How long are you running?
Bright orange stuff.
What?
Bright orange stuff.
Right. And then we added orange juice and then the other thing. So, any questions? What? No. What it was, I was looking last night for stuff I have in the store. Anything that said ORANGE on it, I grabbed. So I saw orange shells. I saw frozen concentrated orange juice in the freezer. And then I saw this jug of orange. I don't like to call it syrup because it really isn't syrup, but it was orange stuff. Hartley's, Hartleys. Hartley's orange. Hartley's makes flavors, all different flavors, in gallon jugs.
How do you spell again?
Hartleys. Hartley's. There's a number of brands, right?
Right. I'm your yes man today.
So now we want to taste it again because we added some more stuff. That's unbelievable. We have a little left. Throw it in, right? Okay. Yeah, about 20 ounces of Hartley's orange. This is going to be good. Here.
Thank you.
Now, we'll partially freeze this. We won't freeze it all the way because we have to somehow, after the ice cream's done, we have to blend it. Right? So I don't know how we're going to do that. We'll figure it out. I brought this, so this will help us. Let me see. Vanilla ice cream in here. It's good, isn't it?
Excellent.
What do you know? Who knows? Who knew? We're taking this out. Now, you don't happen to have anything pliable like this, do you?
No.
You used to, but I think I stole them.
I think
all.
you took it home. It was yours.
How about this? This will work.
That'll work.
So we're going to partially freeze this and then immediately make vanilla ice cream. Where's the bladders? Right here. Okay. Here we have 4. We just need 1 more.
Oh, you need more mix?
Well, we need 5.
Coming up.
That's right. I got it.
Put orange sherbet in one section, vanilla in the other. And of course, then you can mix it. It's best left.
That's cheating, isn't it?
We call it the Great Divide.
That's the Great Divide.
And
yes.
you take that and you put it in your tub and you make vanilla one side and the orange on the other. And then when you go to scoop it, you hit both of them.
Should we do that or should we try to blend it?
Blend it.
Of course. Of course. What are we, rookies?
We can also do the same thing with a, this is brand new, we haven't come to market yet.
Look at you.
With a 3 divider, so you can make Superman or
You have
Spumoni.
nothing but spare time. All right.
Hey, Mike, I never got a rainbow maker.
Well, that's I
Would you
have
mind?
to watch this because I don't want it to freeze too much. It has to be like thick gravy. In my opinion, I don't know, we've never done it, but I think if we make it, not yet, if we, reminiscent. If we, well, we'll see how it comes out, but we certainly don't want it too thick. Thicker than that. Speak up, young lady, please.
If this was ice cream and not sorbet, what would you leave it? You would have kept the 5 quarts of the mix.
If what were ice cream?
You were making sorbet.
He's gonna make ice cream too, though, in a minute.
Okay.
After we pull this out, this really won't be sorbet when we pull it out. It'll be a little thinner because immediately we're going to have to make vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
And then we'll take the vanilla ice cream and somehow incorporate this stuff into it so that every spoonful is a creamsicle.
Remember, I said sorbet is Italian ice with a fancy name.
Sherbet.
Sure, no.
This
Italian
is
ice. Sugar,
sherbet.
water, and flavor. It is Italian ice.
Waste not, want not. All right, this is cooling off and it should start to thicken.
Thank you.
It's thickening a little bit, but we want it thicker.
While you're
Okay.
doing the Great Divide with 2 flavors, you can also do 3 flavors. I need a 2.5 gallon tub. This will divide your tub into 3, so you can make lemon ice, cherry ice, and blue ice, red, white, and blue. When it's all made, you pull that out and you scoop and you hit all 3. We make these. Yes, we sell these. I think it's about $89 plus shipping, and we manufacture these here and sell it. I'll find a 2.5 gallon tub back. Could someone grab me a couple of tubs from back there, those bigger ones, and just move them forward?
Do you have any of those available today?
We do. I believe we do. You can see Crystal afterwards, and or Christy, and they'll get you set up. This used to be done with cardboard in old Italian pastry shops, but cardboard is just
Say,
really...
Steve, what happened here?
I'll tell that in a minute. So there you go. There's your 3. So actually you would buy 2 or 3 of them, And so you would make one batch of lemon ice and put it into one compartment of 3 tubs, put it in the freezer. Then you'd make cherry ice, fill 3 tubs, each section, and put in the freezer. And then you'd make your blueberry ice or blue ice and fill the third. And then when you've got the third in there, you just pull it out and put it in the freezer, and you've got 3 flavors in here. Yes?
At what consistency can you pull out the divider?
We pull it out while it's still soft. If you want to, because it isn't going to bleed much between flavors. If you let it go for a while, all you have to do, since it's stainless steel and it's slippery, is just shake it a little bit, and then it'll also come out. One of my customers said that his got damaged by, when we shipped it, damaged in shipping by UPS. And he sent it back like this. The box was untouched. And you'd have to run it over with the UPS tractor trailer. So I studied this for about a week to try to figure out what the heck went wrong. Curved here, curved down here. And I finally figured out what he did wrong. He wanted to make 3 flavors. He stuck it in the machine and turned it on. And I sent him back a new one because I knew I had an advertising gold mine. And I won't tell you who he was or what part of the country. It fits 2.5 and 3 gallon. The difference between a 2.5 gallon tub and a 3 is the 2.5 has a slight taper to it. The 3 gallon is straight up and down. But what's key in the tubs is the diameter here that they'll fit if you had one of those dipping cabinets, which I don't use, where they're put into slots. 2.5 or 3 gallon will fit.
Yeah, it tastes great. Okay, we're almost ready to, by the way, extract or extrude?
Extrude. No, extract.
Extract or
means
extrude?
You're pulling it all out. Extrude means you're pulling it out in a tube, slowly. So
Right.
you're extracting.
I'm extracting.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we were to extrude your bad tooth, he would spend a half hour pulling it out.
I just had a tooth pulled last week.
Oh, that was an extraction.
Yes, and I was very extruded.
Yes, I'm sure you were.
All right, what are we going to put this in? We said this, right? Yeah, but then the vanilla ice cream. Oh, the vanilla ice cream go in that. Okay, we're good. Well, I know, but it's, this is an experiment. It could be very good.
It will be good, I'm sure.
Creamsicle. Everybody wants to make creamsicle. It's a good flavor.
I've been making it for about 20 years.
How do you make it?
I put all the ingredients in at once. I put
And
in
it
my.
tastes like creamsicle, but it doesn't look like creamsicle.
Doesn't look like creamsicle, no.
Okay, we're good. We're pulling. We're going to pull it out. This is what it holds a peak now, and yet it's not solid. So we'll pull that out. You could eat just this.
So that's like an orange ice right now, right?
Well, orange cream ice. Or sherbet. Orange sherbet.
Sherbet as a term doesn't really sell very well because a lot of us older people grew up on it and it was only orange, raspberry, and 1 or 2 other flavors. And it was always extremely sticky and gummy. Had a lot of chemicals in it. The better term is cream ice. It just flows and sounds nicer. But cream ice and sherbet are very, very similar. But again, Jeff's not using any chemicals and neither am I. We're doing all natural stuff here. So you're going to put that in the freezer while you make
Well,
the
I don't know.
part?
Freezer, I guess.
I would. Just to maintain it.
Yeah, I don't want it to get harder.
It won't.
Taste different than the Italian ice?
Yes, because it's got dairy in it. So,
You, sir, come up here. And only you. You're from New York. Okay, tell me this isn't creamsicle. Huh?
It's perfect.
Go sit down.
What an easy crowd.
Okay, we're going to right away make vanilla ice cream now. Simple vanilla ice cream. $70 again.
Got 70 on what?
He wasn't great on curve.
Okay, we're right there. Vanilla ice cream. It's going to be great.
All right. Once you turn it on,
I did turn it on.
not the refrigeration.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Did I hear it come on? Let me check. I think it's so. There we go. I know it.
No, that's the pressure. Refrigeration went right on, didn't it?
No, that was the
Okay,
refrigeration's on
okay,
now.
Okay. All right. So
It
now.
was cold in there, so it slowed it down.
Correct.
To turn on.
Correct. Okay, so now how do we get ribbons of that fantastic orange sherbet running through stiff vanilla ice cream? What?
Fold.
We've seen this.
Fold?
You can do the typical fold.
We've seen it when it's soft. When it's still soft, right?
You know what we really could do? If we had that's in a squeeze bucket? We could, as the vanilla ice cream is coming out, somebody could squeeze this and let it I think that's a better method for this. Huh? I need an assistant, though. Any volunteers? Okay, sir. Have you ever done this before? Look, he can't even...
You want a more attractive assistant?
What?
You want a more attractive assistant?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry, you'll have to sit down. Christy, Jeff needs help.
We need an attractive assistant. No offense.
He's a handsome man, but not
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Stand over here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm over here. Oh, we got problems. Here's what we're going to do.
I didn't say
This is
she was
vanilla ice
reasonable.
cream being made. We just made orange sherbet. Now, when you release this, I'm going to feed in orange sherbet so that we'll get rivers of sherbet running through vanilla ice cream. Okay. Now, she's a pro. Is that fair enough? Okay?
Yes.
And this shouldn't take very long, 4 or 5 minutes for just vanilla ice cream.
Right. So do you want Christy to come back, or are you all just going to stand?
No, I want her to stay here.
Okay.
All right, and then,
Vanna White.
Yes. Wheel of Fortune.
and then we'll serve it up. This could be interesting. Now, this is the one I have to take with me, so.
Okay, that's fine.
But I just need 1 gallon.
Sammy, what?
It's outside.
With whom? I'll get her.
All right, we ready to bring that? Not yet, not yet. I just want to know if you're ready. So we're going to see how thick it is. We're going to make this. We're going to. We're going to process this a little more than normal. Normally, I pull it when it's a little softer, but we're going to have to process it a little more. Why? Why?
To mix it better?
Because we're going to be blending the sherbet with it, and we don't want soft ice cream to absorb. We want distinct ribbon patterns, distinct rivers going through it. Yes, sir.
4 or 5 minutes to make the ice cream?
I'm sorry?
You said 4 or 5 minutes to make the
Yes.
ice cream? Is
Yes.
that normal, or?
Yeah, it's just ice cream. There's just vanilla ice cream.
So there's no extra sugar in there, so it's gonna go fast.
Couldn't you just put that separator, the 2-side separator in there, pour it, one side orange, one, and then as you take it out, just twist it slowly?
Sure, if I were a rookie. I'm trying to replicate my youth here, where Creamsicle ice cream wasn't just orange colored. It had distinct.
Twist it as it comes out and it'll make
I don't think. You can try that. Let me know how it works out for you. Let me know how it works out for you. It's pretty thick? Not thick enough.
Not thick enough?
Nope. Let's try it, see if it's any good. Vanilla ice cream.
We'll let your assistant try it.
It's vanilla ice cream.
There's no orange in it?
Nope. Nope.
That's over here.
Right.
The orange in the bucket.
No. Now, when you, dog,
Come on, you. Can't be in here.
still not yet. Normally, this is when I would take it out. But I want it a little firmer so that we don't blend. We meld. We meld instead of blending. I know I'm doing too long here. I know that. Close, huh?
Chrissy, if I'd known he was going to take this long, I would have had him pay you.
I'm sorry.
Pretty pliable.
Okay. Now, when this is coming out,
You want me to start?
no, first we got to shut this if we're ready. Okay, let me put a little in first because we have some ice cream. Now we'll. Okay, now bring this forward a little so I can. Okay, not full speed, but go ahead.
Sammy's out.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Why, hold it, stop. Why is it going down one side? We need it in the middle, I told you.
said scoot
Hey,
out.
don't back talk me, girl. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I can't. There, now I can.
You want a spatula? You need a spatula?
Okay, stop. Ooh, I think we're doing it.
Isn't that what Edison said when he invented the light bulb? Oh, I think we're doing it.
See, that's what we want. Look, Steve, that's what we want, right?
That's beautiful. It's too bad you can't see this. It's gorgeous.
They'll see it when they come up.
Yeah, well, we'll hold it up for the camera, too.
Okay, I'm going to need another big bucket.
I got them right here.
Okay.
You want me to take that one away?
All right, ready? A little more.
I got it. Oh, there we go.
Isn't that great?
Bring it over here.
Good invention.
Can you lift it?
Of course you can.
I don't want it all over the floor.
Got it.
Okay, let's do it again.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Let's see. What do I need?
Go ahead. Go ahead, keep going. Let it roll.
Smells good. Right. Take your spot off of the floor.
Okay. Okay. I can take it from here. All right. Okay, that was a little more work than I like to do, but it worked.
Thanks for the help.
Thanks for the help. Now, I think just for the visual, we'll transfer it into these. And you're going to taste this, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, that looks beautiful. Nice job. It worked.
Ooh la la.
It worked great.
Ooh la la. Okay, these go in the freezer.
Okay. Oh, they don't get to try it?
Well, they get to try this.
All right.
We got a whole thing of it here.
You're going to take these your containers?
Yes.
Oh, they're nice. I was going to steal them.
I'll give you as many as you want.
That's all right.
Okay, want to try it? What?
Yeah, so I'm a little boy again.
Yeah, it's good.
You sneak here and there and grab one spoon.
So how do you go from the Bronx to Brooksville, Florida?
Well, you start on the LIE, and then
Yeah.
you end up at Kennedy.
Yeah, you get on the number 4 mugger mover and keep going. Yeah, it's quite a switch to be down here. It's really the boonies.
I moved from northeast Jersey to the middle of nowhere, Utah.
It's amazing.
It's good? All right.
Not as big of a change as this, even. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, actually, Mario Cuomo said that my wife was unfit to be a New Yorker and to get out of the state.
Oh, yeah?
So
So,
we left.
you know the,
Yeah, I hope it tastes good. I haven't tried it yet.
not at Yankee Stadium, but the person that sells ice is right outside the stadium. They've got like coconut, like, cocoa.
Coco Gelatos. Yeah. It's one of
My
my
favorite
customers.
student.
Do you have any idea how to make a coconut?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I'll tell you off camera because he threatened my life if I told anybody, but it's real easy. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, that's the best. Always got to stop there before the stadium.
Yeah, it's a company called Coco Gelatos, and there's a wonderful story about the owner. When Mayor Giuliani came into office, Mayor Giuliani said, we're going to clean up New York, and one of the things we're going to do is we're going to cut way back on the permits that we allow. He was thinking Midtown Manhattan, 57th and Lex, where you got vendors on every side, and so he cut it down to people could only have no more than 2 permits. Well, the gentleman who owned Coco Gelatos up in the Bronx gets an appointment with Mr. Giuliani and walks in and says, if you don't give me 147 permits, there will be 147 families on welfare tomorrow. And Giuliani gave them to him right away because he really never meant to be up in the Bronx where this was people's main livelihood was having a little cart. So he gave him the permits, and the business flourished.
It's good? All right. I'm going to try it right now.
Are they buying the ice or are they working for somebody?
In his case, I think they're working for someone, but the better way to do it, and I'll talk about that actually in the next thing.
It is perfect.
We got a great business model for you. You're going to love it. You're the 2 guys who are going to do that. I was told in advance.
Yeah, I'm doing
Good.
It is perfect.
It is perfect. So let's get that in the freezer too.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in a...
Okay. I don't think they'll break for.
That conchita inside, very nice. That conchita.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it.
I don't think we'll break for bathroom break because everybody's just coming and going in there.
You got it.
I think I'll turn some air on.
Paula, I want you to taste this. It's Creamsicle Ice Cream.
Oh, different. Steve,
Yes.
I have your sugar.
Thank you.
It is warm. He's turning the air on.
Thank you.
Maybe Jack would like some.
Yes, he would. He'll scoop it. I'll serve it.
Mike, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh, I said Jack.
Yeah.
Used to be Jack.
And I thought Jack.
You need a spoon, Paula? Okay.
Can I have a spoonful of just the vanilla, as much as you can get?
Creamsicle.
Help yourself.
Some cream for my coffee.
Yeah, very good.
Tom.
Okay, if
The
you want
other
to take
two
your
are in there?
seats, we're going to continue.
No lids, huh?
They're not, they don't have lids on.
We don't have lids for our 4 quarts, do we? Our 4-quart ones?
No.
Saran wrap, maybe? I'll get some
Probably
saran
have
wrap.
saran wrap. Okay, we're going to continue.
So, good? Good. It was good.
Nice job.
Yeah, it came out good.
Hello. It's going to be a large bag of strawberries and water and sugar, and that's it. It couldn't be any easier. So we'll start by getting the 4 quarts of water and put it in a large bucket. And I've got that.
Yeah.
I'm going to need, could someone in the back grab me another tub, please? We're going through tubs today.
Yeah, I'll bring you some next time.
No, it's not that. We're just making everything so dirty.
And yes, and nobody's cleaning up as usual.
Yeah. We used to have this good cleaner. He wore a hippie shirt, but I don't know where he went.
No, it's not present.
Thank you.
It's not clinging, is it? Yeah, they probably do.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get some.
You okay? Good. 4 quarts of water. Tap water, plain old tap water. And 2 pounds of sugar, which happens to be what's left in here. Any old sugar will do. Sugar is sugar. Jeff is out of the room. He likes to argue with me that he wants Domino sugar because it doesn't clump. I like to buy the less expensive because it's all coming out of the same place. And if you've got clumpy sugar, you take the bag like this. Is very scientific. Make sure you watch. If you got clumpy sugar, you go, and no more clumps. And you probably just saved about 75 cents. It's a miracle. Excuse me. I'm going to make, Sammy, no, you have to get out. There's too much temptation in here. Excuse me, please. Come on. Here we go. Go see Crystal and Christy and everybody else. Okay.
I have a feeling they're all going to be like that.
All right, so we've got the sugar and water.
This is what
I'm using cold water, and I'm just going to stir it up with a spatula once I find a clean one. Cold sugar dissolves very quickly in cold water. You don't have to heat the sugar. You don't have to heat the mixtures. None of that. It dissolves just fine. Besides, I'm using such a large quantity of sugar. Even if there's just a little stream of sugar left over before I put it in, it isn't going to matter because it's probably less than 1/4 of an ounce. And so what compared to 2 pounds, 4 pounds, 7 pounds? If you want to do this recipe in the bigger machines, you just multiply it by 2 for the 12-quart, multiply it by 4 for the 24, and the world's largest production machine are 44. You would multiply it by 8. Real easy. So the 44s.
44. He's got one.
Who?
I got one coming.
Okay. Oh yeah. Did you have a 44 coming? Did you have a smaller machine before? So you're starting right with the 44.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm a soft ice cream guy.
Okay. That'll be plenty of production for you. So I'm just going to pour this in. I found out that if I hold it here, it's going to spill a little bit if I raise it up. I'm going to make you all look bad because I'm blind in one eye. And so if I can do this, you certainly ought to be able to do it. But it's a nice big opening.
How many gallons does that machine make?
Per hour.
9 gallons an hour. Okay. And it's the largest selling machine in the world. So for here, I'm going to hit begin. I'm going to hit Italian ice, which is going to take me to the speed I want. I'm going to turn on the refrigeration. I don't waste time. I get this thing going. Set a timer. Now comes the fun part. My strawberries are over here. Are you going to puree yours?
Yes.
Okay. No, but I need your knife again. Oh, wait a minute, it's got a Ziploc.
There you go. Yeah, that works well. Who engineered that?
Yeah, I know. To give me a clean cut. Jeff is going to puree his strawberries when he puts it in. I, for the most part, agree with him, except for the strawberries. We'll see. He might be right. But I used to make Oreo cookie, or I used to make M&M candy ice cream, and I put the M&Ms right in the machine, and it would break them up, and I'd still have some pieces. But then Jeff showed me he took his M&Ms and he froze them. You freeze them so that they don't turn into a big gloppy mess. And then he purees them and pours it in as a powder, and he has much more surface area of M&M flavor than I do just throwing them in. So it depends on what it is you're making. No, that's a little more involved than that. But you, as one, my videos are often used to babysit, and one customer wrote that he had his 5-year-old son and his 3-year-old son watching Emery Thompson videos. I have, by the time we're finished today, it'll be 360 videos. He was using them as a babysitter, and he walks past the room, and I'm pouring something into the machine, whole cookies or something, and the one older kid turns to the younger kid and says, "Now don't try that with a Cappuccini," because of course you can't do it.
$29.99 includes shipping.
These are just going right in. It's freezing. Hold on, I can't hear you. I'll be right with you.
The water's running.
Okay. See, that size strawberry is what went in. I'm sorry, what?
I saw the juices go in, so did you thaw those at all?
I did. Yeah, I want these thawed.
You done with them? Yeah.
That's all of them. So, everything's in there. Now, you might want to listen and write this down. Flavors like strawberry and melon flavors, cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, they're delicious when you eat them, but they tend to be a weak flavor. So if you wanted to bolster this, you could use an extract. An extract is a concentrated flavor. Or vanilla is an extract. It's concentrated. And there's a company called Green Mountain Flavors, like Vermont. It's called Green Mountain Flavors. They're not in Vermont. They're in Illinois. And the president is named Stan Sitton, S-I-T-T-O-N. And Stan is a genius. Every time I let my ego take over me, this little devil shows up on my shoulder, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm the smartest man on earth. And this little devil goes, "No, you're not. Stan Sitton is." And what Stan does is he makes extracts. Here's a pistachio extract, but he makes all his extracts and flavors from natural ingredients. Back in the Bronx, and I've told this story many times, back in the Bronx, he sent me a bottle of concentrated beet juice. I hate beets. Everybody hates beets, except my wife. Beets are awful. And I call him up. I said, "Stan, I'm in the South Bronx. Do you really think I'm going to sell beet Italian ice?" He goes, "No, Steve. It's for your Sharknado Italian ice where you want a blood red cherry." He said, "Beets are the reddest thing in nature, and we condense them down. We take out the taste and the color, and now you have a beet red color." He does that for flavors. He can make a strawberry flavor that will bolster this. So when you taste it, you might say, "That's nice, but it needs a little more flavor." I don't have any, but if I did, I would have used a little extract to bolster it. The fun thing about his colors is the millennial age group has gotten a lot smarter than my age group, the baby boomers. We used to eat anything, still do. They're a little more cautious. So when a mother comes into the store with a 5-year-old and they see my blood red cherry ice, she says, I don't want that. That's red dye 40. And I'm able to say, no, ma'am, that's not red 40. It's actually concentrated beet juice. Wow, I just sold the whole store right there. Yes?
And on his dyes or his colors, does he sell just liquid or powder?
I believe they're all liquids.
Liquid?
Yeah. While I've got a minute, while this is running, I wanted to tell you a great business plan. A lot of people, this is the largest selling machine in the world. We're in 171 countries worldwide. We have over 37,500 machines out there. Where did I put that? Here's one for you. I'll pass this around. You're not going to be able to see this on camera. This is an Emery Thompson nameplate that a man sent me over, and it's serial number 5623. And he said, how old is this machine? So we looked it up. It left our factory in 1926. And he's asking, do we have parts for it? And you know what the answer was? Yes, we do. 1926, and it's still running. That's not uncommon for us. I think University of Maryland is about 85 years old. They just go on and on. But here's a great business plan. When I brought out this smaller machine, it was attractive because the price was affordable to people. Today it's $10,900. And so for this machine and a push cart and a chest freezer, you can be in the Italian ice business. And so that's the way you start. You go out and and I had a lady on the phone yesterday, and she wanted to know how to get into the Italian ice business. And I said, this is February. I said, maybe you'll be ready by next year. The first thing you want to do is find out where are the fairs and festivals. In other words, write down who are you going to sell this product to? Who is your market? Maybe we change the name from Italian Ice to Sorbet and sell it in specialty stores. So you write down where you're going to go. So this guy wants to go into the park across the street with his push cart. And I said, where are you going from there? He said, oh, someday I'd like to have 15 push carts with 15 people running them, and then I'll be really big. I said, oh, so your plan is you want to go into the push cart repair business. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, they're going to break down, and they're going to take all your time repairing the push carts. Plus, your wife is going to have to run QuickBooks on 15 employees that are now working for you. You're going to be filing out quarterly IRS reports. And you're going to have to deal with the guy who comes in at the end of the day and says, hey, boss, I know you said there were 92 portions in this tub. I only got 56. And he's leaning sideways because he's got all your change in his pocket. I said the easier way to do it, and I already knew the answer. I said, I bet I already know that people are coming up to you and saying, gee, I wish I could do that. And there's three answers. The first answer is, no, you can't do this. These recipes came from my great-great-grandfather from Genoa, Italy. You know, forget the fact they came from a white Presbyterian from Pelham, New York, because they came from me. So that lie is right out the window, but that's what people say, so it makes it sound like they're, more impressive. The second one is truthful. The second answer is, oh, I buy it from Little Jimmy's or in Jersey or Via Veneto in Philly or, Via Veneto in Pennsylvania or Rosati in Philly or Mike's out on the West Coast. Those are all good companies that I service, and they have like 25 of my machines. The problem is you have to buy $1,000 minimum. It gets shipped. $1,000 is going to take up from about here to there. So you have to rent freezer space. And that's a lot of ice. So you're renting freezer space from April till September. The third answer, which is the right answer, what this guy should be saying is, oh, you like my ice? I'll tell you what. I'll sell you my ice. Here's what you do. Here's a list of where you can buy a push cart. You go out and buy your own push cart. I'm not going to sell it to you because I don't want to mark it up. You just go out and buy it. You buy a push cart. You call me on Monday and you tell me how many tubs of lemon you want, how many tubs of cherry, how many tubs of grape, or Oreo cookie, or dairy-free. You tell me what you want, and you can pick it up Friday afternoon after 3 o'clock. bring cash. No credit cards, no checks, no broken promises, no net 30, just cash. You got the cash, we'll sell you the ice. And so now you've got a new customer who's out there with a push cart, but you don't own the push cart. He's not under your employ. He's just buying the ice. And we're going to take this ice when it comes out, and we're going to put it in a chest freezer and freeze it down to 10 below. So someone in the front row walks up to me while I'm in the park and buys a lemon ice. That's a retail sale. My wife drives up to your garage, opens her doors. She's got a big old cooler in it, igloo cooler, and she buys 6 tubs of lemon ice, frozen solid, puts them in there, pays cash, drives them back to her pizza parlor. Guess what? That's a retail sale. You didn't deliver it. You didn't have to run a Department of Transportation truck. Check with your lawyer. I am not an attorney. I had to throw something like that in. But it's so much simpler if you just sell them the ice. You are now a miniature version of Little Jimmy's. But I guarantee you by the end of this summer, you'll have 20 people buying ice from you. And next year, 40 people buying ice from you. And you can make this as big or as small as you want. You sell it for about $40 a tub. It's costing you $10. You're making $30 profit. He buys it, she buys it for $40 a tub. They make $260 in gross sales, so they're netting $220 a tub. If you want to feel good about yourself in life and in business, and you've got 20 people buying from you, you just supported 20 families and their spouses and their children selling sugar water. Oh, one other thing. Let's say Jeff buys ice from me. You see that park over there? That's Prospect Park. That's mine. I don't want to see you in my park. If you're in my park this weekend, I won't sell to you anymore. So you're not only controlling the price, you're controlling the terms, you're also controlling where it's being sold. I had a guy up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, called Michelizzi's. Old man Michelizzi was 100 when I met him, and I was 20. And if he didn't like you, if he didn't think you were running a good business, he wouldn't sell you his ice. He'd stop. So he was controlling the market. Do we see more of these? Yes. Let me just check this. I'm going to let that go a little bit longer. It's a little on the soft side. How is it?
I didn't taste it yet.
Go for it. But pass this around. See how all those strawberries got ground up. And look at that color. That color is all natural. I didn't put anything in there. So that's the way I would expand a business. When we moved out of the Bronx and I sold the building to the New York Yankees to become a parking garage 14 years ago, my New York City 5th Avenue accountant said, Steve, you cannot move a 100-year-old business. You're going to have to find a factory. You're going to have to find employees. You're going to have to get reestablished. And I said, well, we can't stay in New York. The unions and the Cuomo's, the governor and son, are killing us. We got to get out. So we came down here. We had 5 tractor trailers following behind us as we crossed over the George Washington Bridge. And we had Sadie, our golden, the one prior to this, with us. And I turned to Paula, and this is an honest, true story. I said, Paula, if the accountant's right and we can't get the business back up and running, we'll grab a couple of our machines and we'll sell Italian ice and we'll make a fortune. And I believed it then, I believe it today. It's the greatest way to make a lot of money. I was telling this once to a limo driver. It was early in the morning, he couldn't see me, and when I got out and he could see me, and they were about the same age, and he had just gotten laid off from Wall Street. He said, do you believe what you're telling people? I said, absolutely. I said, you want to move to Charlotte, North Carolina? That's where he wanted to go. I said, you go into the Italian ice business, and the Charlotte Country Club may not invite you to join the Charlotte Country Club, but give it 3 years and you'll have enough money to buy the place. And I believe it. Watch how fast this comes out. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Whoa, baby, it's getting heavy. That's some. And remember, let your eyes see what you're seeing, because I say it's a 6-quart machine. These are 6-quart pans. So
okay, ready?
Maybe it makes a little more than 6 quarts.
Look at the beautiful specks in there.
Wasn't that simple? Sugar, water, and a bag of strawberries from Walmart.
Steve, it sounds like you say that to start out, it sounds like the Italian ice is better than the ice cream.
Perfect.
It's cheaper to get into.
It's all right. We can handle
I can sell Italian ice on 170th Street in Jerome, a terrible neighborhood. I can make $1,000 a day in a bad neighborhood because everybody can afford it. I would drop the price to $1.50 and I'd sell more. Ice cream has got to be in the richest town, on the richest street, with parking in order to be a big success, in my opinion. Jeff and I disagree on that a bit, but the beauty of Italian ice, and then you talk to any salesman, I'm a salesman, I own the company, but I'm a salesman. Any salesman will tell you, we love an excuse to come back to see you for something else, and sell you something else. So I'm not selling you anything else, but if your customers know you for the next 2 years selling Italian ice and all of a sudden you start introducing dairy-free ice cream for the millennials, which is a coconut-based product, which I'll talk about, or you start putting in some ice cream or some gelato, hey, it's more reason to come back to your place. But if you just want to do ices, I guarantee you, you can work really, really hard and take all of February off, maybe even January and February and March. Depends on where you are. Down here, you have to work in the winter and you would take July off because in the winter we got all the New Yorkers, and when they come down to Miami, they all want to act, it's 50 degrees out. I'm dressed warm. I'm wearing 2 sweaters. And they're jumping in the ocean. I used to be one of them. Are you nuts? You're going in the ocean and you're drinking margaritas? Who the hell drinks a margarita in January? But they do that too. And they want to have Italian ice.
So when you do the Italian ice, would you do cream ice with it?
Yeah, because it's so simple. It's just adding in the simplest form.
I taste it. I'm just saying, is it worth it to have both, or is it like contradictory?
Yes, no, have both. And then Ralph's up in Staten Island came up with a new idea. He takes sugar, water, and flavor and throws in a bag of Oreo cookies. And now he's making cookie. No, not the cookies. He's now making an ice cream flavor with an Italian ice base. So his food cost is next to nothing, but it tastes like an ice cream. It's still an Italian ice, but it's like an ice cream.
So you can mix cream with the water?
Yeah.
Like he did the thing that I flavor there?
Yes, that's what Jeff just did.
I seen in New York City the cherry.
Yes.
It's a little bit more red.
Yeah, he's using red dye.
Or you use the bit. If you use the bit, the one that you're talking about,
the little extract, a little bit of red flavor. But I'm using an all-natural one.
Oh, okay.
I'm using the beets. Yes, the beets. Yeah. How's it taste?
C'est bon. Tastes very good.
Oh, good. Wow, did you hear that? My product is c'est bon.
What is it? It's what?
C'est bon. That's French.
I don't know what French is.
Hey, that's good.
Strawberry ices.
Yeah. Very refreshing and very, people love it because, and on a hot, hot day, ice cream will make you sweat. Down here, we're running low-fat ice cream because if we ran a Haagen-Dazs type product and you step outside when it's 90 degrees, 100% humidity, you're going to drop dead in the parking lot, and that's bad for business.
You test the fruit inside.
Yeah.
But it's not like the ice, the syrup on top, the corn ice.
Oh, the shaved ice.
Yeah.
Shaved ice. No, that's all chemicals. This is much better.
Did you ever sell to the New Haven pastry stores?
Sure. Yeah.
As a kid, I grew up in Little Italy in New Haven.
Yeah. And up
Libby's, Marzullo's.
Yes. Yeah.
Libby's was around the corner.
Well, Libby's original place was Mr. Liberato, and he was up in Hartford. That was his first place. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think in the 30s though, he went down to Worcester Street. He was down below. He went downstairs.
Well, maybe I'm mistaken. Isn't Worcester Street's in New Haven?
Yes.
I got my cities mixed up.
Oh yeah. No. That's my whole family. My father's family is from there. I grew up there.
Wonderful stuff.
My lifetime was defined by that sticky ice at the end of the day. I'm serious. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Steve.
You bet. We're gonna. Yeah, I'll tell you the secret to cannoli. Add more cannoli. People don't add enough cannoli. Cannoli is cannoli is on the weak side.
You mean ricotta?
No, I mean I make the cannoli mix that I would put into a shell.
You don't know anything.
Oh yeah, I think
you
I
know
taught
who took
you.
my class? Cannoli King.
Yeah,
I have his recipe.
He taught me. That's my recipe.
That I have the recipe.
That's my recipe from him.
And
but he called me up and said, I can't translate it into an Italian ice.
I made an ice cream.
But I made an Italian ice out of it.
One of my hot sellers.
It's
but I made an Italian ice out of it.
What kind of ricotta? What kind of ricotta you use?
I have a.
The recipe's not mine. It came from Mr. Cannoli up in.
If you need to buy it,
I try to make it, and it's
Sargento.
That's what I originally used.
Yeah.
You need more sugar.
Just
It's amazing.
Sweet when you put more sugar?
Well, it's ice cream, so it should be sweet.
No, I'm talking about if it's actual cannoli cream.
Yeah, I can't help you there.
Oh, no?
No, I take a good. See, he sent me the stuff and said I can't make an ice out of it. Well, I knew that for ices you have to double the amount of flavor because dairy.
Oh, not getting enough sugar, huh?
Didn't you get some on the way here?
We're gonna do a Q&A.
Oh, now?
You can believe it. It's 11:15.
I only made one thing.
Oh, you're up. Sorry.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question before we go. Just the one.
Let's go outside.
Okay, you all just ate strawberry ices, Italian ices. So now we're just going to shift gears and make strawberry ice cream. I never did it before, but we'll give it a shot. Just plain old good strawberry ice cream. The number 4 seller in the world. Number 1 is vanilla. Number 2,
Chocolate.
Number 3,
Cookies and cream?
pistachio, right. All right, so we need 5 quarts of mix. This should be 5 quarts, right?
No. You took 5 and then you took 1.
So we're short. We're short. Would you grab a bag of mix in the refrigerator? Thank you. All right. Yes, sir.
Mix. Do you ever just mix,
Ask that in the Q&A, all right? Get rid of that. All right. So here I have strawberries. Are you writing back there, Secretary? Okay. We have 4 pounds of strawberries. And in the Q&A, you can ask about fresh versus frozen, too. Oh, great. We need 5. We need 5 quarts in here. Come on, you're working now.
Jeez. What if I split them all? Can I get a 70?
I don't know, there's no 5 on the side, so you got to go midway between 4 and 6. Can you handle it?
That line right
Hey,
there.
I'm just saying. So we'll put in strawberries. How much?
4 pounds.
Okay, if that fits in here, I don't know. Not fitting, is it? So what we'll do is we'll make it fit. I don't really like strawberry ice cream. I don't like strawberries, but we'll see. It's not what I like, right? Okay, we got them. Anywhere. This is Torani coffee. You know, you make strawberry cappuccinos with it. So we'll add some of this. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to put 5 plus quarts. Hey, I didn't spill any. Correct. It was put in on the side. Okay, 5 quarts of mix. Should we add some vanilla?
Yes.
Why not? Yeah. Here's the vanilla. So we need another 5 ounces because we have 5 quarts in. So let's add 5 ounces of vanilla. Boy, so far everything's been delicious.
Is it too cool in here? Yes? A little too cool? Okay.
And then we'll add a little, we'll turn it on. Now, when you're making something like strawberry, can it be too strawberry?
No.
No. But it can be not strawberry enough, but it can't be too strawberry. So let's just add all this. So what's happening? So far, everything's tasted good. Yeah. Even what you made.
See what I mean? I started it and said, if that idiot Steve Thompson can do this, imagine what I can do. It's true. And what could be better? You're going to make these products every day of the week. I make it once every 2 months. Your products will be so much better than mine. Making these products is mathematical. I tell people that, and I haven't found a good way to describe it, but if you want to do a cake, and I've never baked a cake, but if I was going to do a cake from scratch, it would have a certain amount of flour, a certain amount of water, and a certain amount of sugar, and a certain amount of flavor. And that would make it a cake. If I add more water, it's not a cake. If I add more sugar, it's too sweet. So there's a mathematical formula there. So all my formulas, over 350 of them, are up at my website for you to take for free. When we say that you get lifetime technical support with an Emery Thompson, we mean lifetime, and we mean any Emery Thompson. I want you to buy a new machine because there's nothing more critical to your store. You know, on July 4th, if your 40-year-old used machine goes down, we'll guarantee to have you a new machine in 6 weeks. And by that time, you're out of business. But you have a 40-year-old machine and you got a problem, you call us. You got a Capajani and you don't know how to make something, you call us. We'll help you because we make the best machines in the world, and you're going to end up buying from us anyway. If not from today, another day. It sounds braggadocious, but you know, Babe Ruth in New York once said at the very best, he was asked about his batting prowess, how well he could hit, and he said, it ain't bragging if you can do it. And we can do it. So we're going to add all these more videos today. You'll see all this on Emery Thompson.
You like strawberry?
Love it.
So taste it, see if it's ready to roll.
Well, did you follow the formula?
There is no formula. I've never made it before.
Like strawberry, so he's a bad tester.
That's got a lot of good strawberry. The dairy, of course, brings out the strawberry taste. It's great.
More strawberry?
How much more you got?
Oh, I got.
Like what?
Well, I got this.
What is that?
Smell it.
Oh, go for it.
Whoa! Whoa!
Not too much.
But look, we're up to the top here.
I don't care. It'll take longer to freeze.
Just add it?
Yeah.
I like it.
Might take a little longer to freeze.
Because of the sugar.
Is that alcohol or sugar?
No, this is Tirani.
Oh, okay.
You put these in your cappuccinos.
Oh.
That's not the regular Tirani, right?
This is the signature series.
I drink black coffee. What would I know?
Me too. Okay, what do you think?
Good.
Good. Okay, so we have a bottle and 2/3, which translated to ounces, 25. We have 16, 30. We have 40 ounces.
Are you going to turn it on? What's all this mixing stuff? See, for the first 5 minutes, nothing's going to happen. It's just getting colder and colder and colder. So there's your mixing. So he's burning my daylight by just letting it mix like this. It's not necessary. I could make you so much more efficient.
Right. But I've only made 56,000 gallons of ice cream.
Oh, now you're bragging.
No, that's all I've made. You've made far more than that.
No, I haven't. Way less than that.
56,000 gallons of ice cream.
Unbelievable.
In a store that started out what size?
75 square feet.
80 square feet.
From in the back there.
Where are you having your store?
1 hour.
And even then,
northeast.
And even then he was complaining. He used to stand in the back and go, I can do it better.
Well, after I gagged a little. You know what a good name for this is? Strawberries and cream ice cream.
That's nice. Did you see what's up here? This is brownies, homemade brownies.
No, that's Ghirardelli brownies.
Ghirardelli homemade brownies. Wow. Well, they just buy.
I gave Paul the brownies.
More questions.
Okay. Are we doing a formal Q&A or
Yes.
just a stand-up Q&A?
No, we'll do a formal.
Okay.
I want to sit down.
Okay.
And then we'll have lunch.
Yes, sir.
So the recipe that you're using for the strawberries seems to me a little expensive.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
You'll be the first question on the Q&A,
Yes.
okay?
Cost doesn't matter.
Boy, doesn't it ever.
We'll get to you during the Q&A. Cost doesn't matter.
Little expensive.
And
I could pour dollar bills in here and it wouldn't matter.
And let me tell you, I'm a convert because I was the one, when you were out of the room, I complained about the sugar. But when it comes to flavoring, cost doesn't matter because it's like the baseball movie. If you build it, they will come.
Pennies.
You make I can make you a product suitable to sell at the Denver baseball stadium. Have they ever won? I don't think they've ever won anything. Suitable to sell there. Or I can give you something like Cafe Ferrara that's got lines around the block. And when you're making lines around the block, it doesn't matter what the food cost is because you're going to recoup it. But Jeff will talk about that. But while I got a second, one of the biggest things happening in my industry is pint sales. And not to offend anybody, because it's not offensive, but what's driving pint sales is the millennial age group, 21 to 39. Now, I'm at the tail end of the baby boomers. He's at the old end of the baby boomers. And we are 72 million strong. The millennials are 85 million strong. The fact of life is we're aging out someday, and the millennials will be here for a very long time. They are a huge part of your target. Now, the millennials decided one day, because my 4 children are millennials, they're all professionals, and they make a good income. But they spend like they've got an outrageous income. And I finally figured out how they do it. They live in Manhattan, so they don't own a car. They're driving, taking Uber everywhere. They have no interest in a house at this point. We grew up, after you bought the car, the next thing you had to do is you had to put a mortgage you cannot afford and spend the rest of your life trying to pay it off on a house. Well, my sons and daughters don't have any sons and daughters have no interest in a mortgage. So they've got a lot of money. They're spending it on food and beverage and buying the best they can. So it wasn't good enough just to make a 6-pack of Budweiser for $6 and buy it on a Friday afternoon on the way home. Now it's Wicked, Blue Moon, Crooked Sun, locally sourced craft beer. I mean, the names are great. And it's $15. And it's selling like crazy. So what I believe, the other thing that's selling like crazy is pints. Pint sales are through the roof with my customers. And I believe it's similar to the craft beer. You make a fabulous product with fabulous ingredients, and instead of paying $4.25 for a pint, they'll pay $7, $8, $9. The average right now amongst my customers around the country is $8 for a pint. And that means there's enough money in that pint that you can easily use the highest quality ingredients there are. And by using high quality ingredients, you get more people coming in. The other thing that happens is a pint only lasts a short amount of time. You take it home. Ladies, I'm giving up all our secrets, but when we men buy a pint of ice cream, On the drive home, there's teeth marks in it. And as soon as and then we smooth them over, but there's an indent. So you watch. The first thing we do when we get home with that pint is we rip the top off and put a spoon in it and take a bite so you can't see that we've already attacked it. Then we have some for dinner. Then we have, like me, might have another scoop at 11 o'clock at night. And so that pint's gone in about a day and a half, which does two things. It means that it was a reward to me to buy it. I deserve it. I had a great week. Or I have a lousy boss. He's driving me nuts. I'm going to drown my sorrows in this pint. But I will spend the money. I'll spend $8 for a pint and not even think twice about it. Because it's going to disappear so fast, and it's always under freezer. It's not in a scooping cabinet. It's always frozen solid. I have no chemicals in it. I don't have polysorbate 80. I don't have to have any gums or even natural ones like locust bean or carrageenan. I don't have to do it because the stuff isn't going to be around long enough. Want proof of it? Go buy some Haagen-Dazs. Milk, cream, sugar, skim milk. That's all it says. And flavor. So I asked Penn State when I was last there, the head of it, I said, okay, my family put Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry into business. Why do they only sell it in pints? Why not quarts? Why not half gallons? And the answer to me was astounding. They said, because you'll pay $8 for a pint. You might even pay double that. You better bring one home for your significant other or spouse or whomever. So you might buy two, but you'll pay $8 for a pint. But you won't pay $32 for a half gallon. If I'm going to buy a half gallon of ice cream, hey, that's for my friends. They can eat Breyers. I'll keep the good stuff for myself. So you're not afraid of a pint, but you'll never sell a half gallon or a gallon at those costs. They'll just say, whoa, this is way too much. And now you're hurting your reputation. So pint sales are just insane how good they are right now. And I think they'll stay that way. And it's thanks to this age group willing to spend money on quality foods and beverages. We never did. I mean, let me show you how I used to make strawberry ice cream. This is pre-Jeff. And quite frankly, I had to give credit where credit's due. Jeff taught me to make ice cream by going to the supermarket and buying stuff. I mean, it couldn't be easier. We used to buy, I'm hiding the name, this is called a number 10 tin. This is 3 quarts of the cheapest strawberries that can't be sold anywhere else in any supermarket in a heavy corn syrup, heavy gloppy syrup with red dye 40. And we used to open this can up and pour a quart in here, and that was strawberry ice cream. And people loved it. This is great. And then this new generation came along and they said, we're not going to eat that stuff. And it literally changed the world. They are changing us for the better. They are also the most amazing entrepreneurs. They have no fear. My age group goes, yeah, I got to do a market analysis and I got to think about that, and maybe I don't want to work that hard. They just say, hey, let's go into the ice cream business. You want to go into the ice cream business? Sure, okay. Let's call Steve, order a machine. It's that simple. So ice cream and ices have come just a tremendously long way. One last thing, dairy-free ice cream. The millennials don't eat ice cream as much as we baby boomers do. My children, if I have them for Christmas dinner, will eat Haagen-Dazs because they grew up on it. That's what I bought. But they don't have pints of Haagen-Dazs in their freezer because they're really not that keen on dairy. This is a non-dairy product. Used to be called vegan. Vegan's a horrible name, or lactose, or ice cream or frozen dessert for lactose intolerant people. Ugh, that sounds worse. But vegan sounds like a 90-year-old man who weighs 89 pounds, and you just want to buy him a decent meal because he's going to blow away. This is all pure stuff. It's technically vegan, but some of my millennial customers in Southern California said, we got to come up with a better name. So they started about 2.5 years ago calling it dairy-free ice cream. It's very descriptive, and it sounds a heck of a lot better than vegan. It is an oxymoron because there is no ice cream, there is no dairy in it, so it really is an ice cream. But it scoops like ice cream, it has a similar taste to ice cream, and I am targeting a specific group, a very large group. It's easy to make. It's like making Italian ice, but it's a coconut base. And then I started eating it, and hate to admit to be getting slightly older, not by much, but you get to an age where you start to say, I can't eat a filet mignon every night for dinner. I mean, the thing is just killing my gut. It stays in your system for 72 hours. Your body just is looking for something less heavy than a filet mignon. So you discover this product and you say, you know, that's really light and healthy. And forget the healthy. It's light. It's delicious. My cardiologist loves it. It will never, ever in a million years replace Jeff's ice cream. But I'm trying to get this largest group of people ever existed. So if I had 15 flavors of ice cream, I'd have 2 flavors of dairy-free. And now I'm introducing, and while you're there, you go, whoa, his mint chip really is good. So you're introducing a new age group to fantastic ice cream. And that's all I'll say. This is, it's spelled M-A-M-I-S. M-A-M-I-S Gelato.com. She calls it Mommy's, which is Italian for M-A-M-I-S. It sounds like it's Mammy's, but we can't use Mammy's in the South or anywhere else. Yeah. Excuse me? I don't know, and we'll pass those out. But you can always call me on it. Great stuff, really great, and taking off like wildfire. It's a trend, it's not a fad. I don't have a lot of these. If I run out, I'll find some more, but you already got it. Anybody missing one? Okay. Okay. Yes. Could you pass that? Thank you. There you go. This is a great resource. And Jeff's done.
How about some ice cream?
All right.
Strawberry ice cream.
We haven't?
They're going into Sugar Shop.
Yeah. Oh, for years.
So their Italian ice, they do just the regular Italian ice, and then they're more creamy ices. But it's not sherbet.
No, it's a cream ice.
So they put some kind of dairy in it. I don't know what.
Yeah, they're putting just an ice cream blend in like we would make ice cream with. Those bladders.
Isn't that sherbet though?
No, I don't agree with him that sherbet and cream ice are the same thing. Okay. They're conceptually the same, but cream ice is much creamier, smoother, lighter than a sherbet.
So they're putting in less than what he's putting in for his blend?
No, they're just using better ingredients. A sherbet traditionally always had a lot of chemicals in it. It was a very sticky, gummy product. I can throw everything that Dow Chemical makes into ice cream and you'll never notice it. But I so much as touch sugar and water and it'll become sticky and gummy. If you ever had Marino's, my customer, or Little Jimmy's, the stuff gets sticky, real sticky. Oh, that's the chemicals and the corn syrup. You just avoid all that. People are too smart for that.
Are you going to speak a little bit more?
So the girls have to temper some before the store opens to soften it up a little, because in the freezer it's like -4.
Right, but you would never want to serve it this
well, this is good, isn't it?
To me, I love it. I mean,
Sure.
This is the way I love ice cream.
Sure.
That's why I mean, would it be too soft?
Homemade ice cream. That's like you made at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, soft.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way I'd like to serve it. I think the people would love it in the store.
You'd be making it fresh.
Be diabetic by the end of the day.
You'll be fine, man.
Right, I guess you couldn't. You don't have enough customers to make it work like that.
To make it look like what?
Like in other words, to be able to
He's
serve
thinking
it like
about
this.
almost doing it like a soft serve, but ice cream.
Well, in the middle of the night, this is what ours comes out like.
So when you're serving to your customers, it's not like this. It's harder. It's harder because it would be too soft, and you don't have. In other words, you can't control when the customers are coming.
Well, in my store, they come all the time.
Hey, I'm coming to your store. I'm going to come to your store.
Okay. We're only open at night.
You open at night.
Only at night. 6 to 10 every night but Monday.
Container, push a foot button. It speeds, yeah, SAWVEL. And they work great. A lot of my customers buy them. but you go through a lot of inexpensive labor before you get there, before you go spending $7,000. But then again, labor isn't inexpensive anymore. It's all going to $15. Terrible. Hi.
I'm Bernice, I'm Sugar Mama Desserts.
Yeah, good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having the class.
You bet.
Yeah, I wanted to quickly know if you know of any mix suppliers in California who do a 10% mix. Right now I'm using Foster Farms, 16% all natural.
Are you north or south?
North.
North. Okay, because there's. Go ahead, Christy.
Sorry.
I think there's Smith Dairy down in Los Angeles, and they probably cover everywhere. But there's a one in San Francisco that is organic. Strauss Family Creamery.
Actually, I'm looking for something egg-free, like this Foster Farms has a nice egg-free blend.
Okay.
I know there's 3 Twins in it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they also have eggs in theirs as well.
Most people don't put eggs in. I'm surprised. It's usually the exception.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I would just look at labels.
Yeah. Okay.
And what fat did you want?
Which I'm 10%. Right now I'm using 16%, but I just want to see if there's other options.
Okay. Because the California crowd is going to be more prone towards 14, 16, just like New York. They're before they even taste it, they're judging it by the richness of it. Here in Florida, it's too hot to run at 16.
Okay. That's a good point.
But nobody ever walked out of an ice cream parlor and said, that's the best darn butterfat content I ever ate.
Sure.
Or even with my infinite overrun control, nobody says, oh, I can't wait to go back tomorrow because I love the air content.
Yeah.
People say that mint chip was minty, the chips weren't chalky, they remember the flavor. I grew up, my father and my uncle were absolutely horrible ice cream makers. They made the worst stuff on earth because they were always testing a machine. If it takes 8 minutes, let's run it for 2.5 hours and see what happens. And it was inedible. So our ice cream parlor was Baskin Robbins. And that wasn't a great ice cream, but they had a secret. They over-flavored everything. When you ate a strawberry, you knew it was strawberry. And that's really the secret. It's all about the flavor.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was almost interesting. Would you recommend how number would you recommend? 10, 12, Washington D.C. area?
Again, 14 to 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing. Wealthy neighborhood. The North and California tends towards the higher fats.
Okay.
In fact, in Washington, there's even there's Shenandoah Dairy that makes 17.
Would you recommend that one?
It's one, and yes, they make a 17%. But the higher the fat content, the more flavor you'll need. You got to cut through the fat.
Yes.
But it's still worth it. They're looking for something really super creamy. I'm looking for, being here in Florida, I'm looking for something refreshing. Their ice cream makes you want to have a glass of water. My ice cream wants you to go back and have another one.
Should I change summer to winter?
No.
Okay.
Consistency, year round. Okay.
Is there a possible way that I can get your recipe book?
Jeff has it. He has the recipe book, not me. Yeah.
I have Jeff's book.
I don't have one. My recipes are all at the website. Yeah, and with the videos. We're going to do what I coined the phrase questions answered. We've turned them now into videos because people have a lot of questions. Here's the slight problem I have. I'll sit here. I can see better. Here's the slight problem I have. I have to go over to our Jupiter office this afternoon, so I'm going to be leaving about 1:15. We're still, Mike in the office back here who's running the control board and all the cameras. He's sitting there in the dark running everything. You back there, Mike?
There
you wave. Okay. He's going to give you the tour of the factory. He can answer any questions. If you need any ordering information or prices, I'll be in my office during lunch, and please come in and see me because unfortunately I do have to leave at 1:15. But Jeff is going to, if we haven't run through all our flavors, we're making a total of 6 flavors today. And I'll do my last one after lunch, and then Jeff will have one more, and you'll see that pretty much eats up the day. But if you have questions, the funniest thing about doing this course, or the oddity of doing this course, is we will ask you right now, does anybody have any questions? And crickets, dead silence. And they go, okay, we're going to break for lunch. Everybody runs up. Hey, what if I do this? I know you feel your business is secret, but you're talking to the two wrong people for keeping secrets. But it doesn't matter. We're not going to, tell the world. Well, maybe we are. I had a guy who called up a year ago, and he said, I have a new invention. What is it? Do I have to get you to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement? I said, no, I can be trusted. I won't tell anybody. Just, 172 countries watching and what planets. No, I won't tell. What are you going to do? He said, well, I take a homemade cookie, and I take a scoop. You sure you're not going to tell anybody? I take a scoop of homemade ice cream, and I put it on the cookie. And I put another cookie on top, and I wrap it in foil. I said, wow, that's amazing. What are you going to call it? He goes, I'm going to call it an ice cream sandwich. I said, holy expletive delete, you're going to take over the world. Of course, we've been eating Eskimo pies, since we were 2 years old.
Interesting that you say that, because I invented the cookie witch. 2 chocolate chip cookies, vanilla ice cream rolled in chocolate chips. Remember those?
When was that?
That was in 78, something like that.
Okay.
I invented that.
Well, that was Chipwich came out of that.
Correct.
They were my customers.
Correct. Chipwich.
Yeah, we had. That was interesting because New York push carts were just unbelievably dirty and ugly and everything else. And Chipwich came along and spent. Sometimes you spend money. Spent $1,000 on advertising on the side of the carts. Nobody else's carts in New York
nice and
looked
white,
like anything.
Clean,
nice and white,
clean.
Nice umbrella, and they were so pretty. You walked up, and the Chipwich then I think was like $1.50, which everybody else was 40 cents for an Italian ice. It was outrageous how much they were charging. Always sold out because it was a great product and it was clean.
Chipwich.
And so I know you're going to talk about, don't worry about the cost of flavors. But anyway, the point is, now's a great time to ask questions. And whatever you're thinking of doing, I can guarantee you they want to hear it too because they're thinking of it too. They're not they're not in your neighborhood. They're not going to steal your ideas.
Yes, sir.
So the syrup that you used when you made the strawberry ice cream and the ingredients, it seemed a little pricey. Why not use just like a few ounces of some flavoring, strawberry flavoring?
Good question. I'll take it.
Please do.
Here's the deal. This product, whether it's ices or ice cream, there's nothing on earth as profitable as this. We did numbers in our class yesterday, and it's silly. The profit is silly. But let's talk about using expensive ingredients as opposed to using less expensive ingredients. My idea was to make ice cream that tastes like when we were kids. When I go to the store and buy Oreos, I don't buy Oreos. I buy Oreos. Oreos, $3.99 for a 3-strip cellophane bag of Oreos. Walmart brand, $2.99, even $1.99. So there's $2 you can save on a batch of ice cream. Why didn't I think of that? $2 on a batch of ice cream. Let's take it one step further. Let's talk about this syrup. That bottle cost me $5. The strawberries cost $8, I think, or something for the bag of strawberries. That's $13. Add the mix in. Mix is $25. It's less, but let's say $25. So how much you have? Come on. How much you have?
33.
$30?
38.
13 and 25, yeah, 38.
$38. So we have $38 using the best things we can, right? Frozen strawberry is more expensive than fresh, that's for sure. So we have $38. Let's round it off to 40 because we'll throw a little vanilla in too. So we have $40 to make a batch of ice cream.
2 tubs.
Hang on.
Okay.
That translates my machine out of 6 gallons. I'm going to get 6 gallons of ice cream out of that. And we've spent $40. How much a gallon have I spent? What?
$6.
$7 maybe?
$6.50.
$6.50. So I've spent $6.50 to make a gallon of ice cream. How many ounces in a gallon?
128.
128. How many servings? 10 good servings.
Big servings.
10 good big servings at $6 a serving. So I'm taking in 60, and what did it cost me to make it? $6.50. So if I use cheaper ingredients, it'll cost me $6.25. $6. Who cares? Who cares? You're going to make the best product on earth. Best ice cream in the world, because you're not going to use that cheap stuff. So when you have to make Oreo ice cream, what are you going to buy? Let me see. Schmorios, $1.99. Oreos that we remember as a kid. 40 years ago, we were dipping Oreos in a little milk and eating them, and that taste is what I want in the ice cream. I don't want Schmorios. I want Oreos. I don't want Schmickers. I want Snickers. I don't want Schmem&Ms. I want M&Ms. Because you know, when you go into the store and you buy fake M&Ms, whatever they're called, they don't taste the same, do they? No, not even close. So why would you make ice cream with that, knowing that your profit is going to go down 50 cents on a gallon of ice cream? It doesn't make any sense. So always, always use the best ingredients. And many of you won't, because when you're shopping, you're going to look and you're going to say, $18, $5, well, I'm not spending that. But you'll be making a big mistake.
And when you take it and translate it into Italian ice, $10 a tub. And that $10 at $2.75 a scoop is going to, because we give a smaller scoop, it's more than enough. It's going to yield $260. So take away your $10 cost, you've made $250 on one tub of ice. It's the difference between something that you could sell at a baseball stadium that's just cold and that's it, or something that's going to create lines around the block and you've got a reputation. I was just speaking with a gentleman here, and he was from New Haven, and he said, did you ever hear of a place called Libby's? Oh yeah, that was Mr. Liberato. Probably been in business for 50, 60 years. And right there in New Haven has the entire reputation as the best Italian ice. You go into New Haven, you go to Libby's. I mean, that's what you want. You want to be known as the best.
How could his ices possibly be better than anyone else's?
Ingredients.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
Of course.
Same machine, same sugar, same water.
Same water, same sugar. It's the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So does that answer your question why we use Torani flavors instead of Bazzani flavors?
Well, something like a Green Mountain strawberry. You're only using a few ounces compared to the whole bottle that you were using. I was just asking because of your preference.
Well, Green Mountain is a high quality. It's an extract. What Jeff uses is not an extract. The Green Mountain is condensed down. So is the vanilla. The vanilla is condensed down. And so then the other thing that comes into play, but you're both buying great stuff, as opposed to buying something from national brands, which is going to be what the cheap companies use. You're already, with Green Mountain, using a higher quality product. So you are buying better quality. And then comes the personal taste.
The only reason I go the other route is because it says on the cover of my book, I go supermarketing. That's what I like to do. I like to buy things in the supermarket that have a familiarity to me. When I first came here years and years ago, the shelves were lined with number 10 cans of mystery ingredients and a lot of chemicals and a lot of fake flavors, and I didn't want to go that route. So I go to the supermarket, whether it's Restaurant Depot, Walmart, any of them, or online. I shop online too. And I like ingredients that I recognize, I know what it's going to taste like, and it brings me back. Ice cream is a kid's food, and we're all kids when we eat it. When you eat ice cream, you go right back to being a kid, and that's what I want. I want that feeling of over me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Who else?
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
To the mix, opposed to mixing your own.
Can you mix your own half and half, and however you want to do it in these machines, or do you have to use the pre-bought, pre-mixed mix?
I like to tell people you can do anything in America you want. There's no limit.
This mixed batch, is it like as expensive?
Well,
or
there's
more
a key
expensive?
word, and the key word is pasteurized, right?
Yeah, you can do it legally, but it's going to take a lot of equipment, and you're going to now become not an ice cream parlor, but a dairy.
And will you?
Have pasteurized.
You would have to buy a pasteurizer,
pasteurizer.
and the Department of Health is going to be in bed with you. You might as well build them an office. They're going to be in the back room watching you all day long.
The bottom line: will you save money doing it yourself?
No,
of
because
course not.
cream. The cows only produce so much cream, and a dairy can make more money selling it to you in half-pint containers than they can you calling them up and saying, "I want 50 gallons of heavy cream." They're going to laugh. You know why?
And you can get it anywhere.
Mix is a terrible term. It's a blend. The cow was milked at 4 this afternoon, and they they separated it into milk, cream, and skim milk. And then they reblended it to be a certain fat content, and then they pasteurized it, homogenized it, refrigerated it, and delivered it to you. All that's done while you're sleeping, and it's delivered at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to your store fresh. We make, the gentleman who's going to do gelato, we make better gelato in the United States of America than Italy ever could. Now, that'll get me just a ton of emails and letters, but here's the facts.
How many dairy cows are there in Italy?
There are none.
Okay.
There are no dairy cows in Italy, or maybe there's one Bessie, but there's beef cattle. But the milk, the cattle are on the Pampas in Argentina. They milk them in Argentina, and then they They take the milk product, and they put it through a series of screens invented by a company called Henningsen Foods, people I grew up with, and they turn it into a powder. They then ship the powder to Bologna, Italy, where it's packed in nice foil bags and then shipped by boat to, it's already got more sky miles than I do. It's then shipped by boat to Newark, New Jersey, and then it's shipped to you in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And you then have to take this and reconstitute it with water or milk. Now compare all the travel that this has taken and how many processes it's gone through as compared to the cow got milked at 4 this afternoon. It got processed, meaning blended, at the dairy and delivered to you at 7 o'clock in the morning. Our base products are fresher than this ever could be. Yes?
On the mixes, the places like Ben & Jerry's, Haagen-Dazs, are they using mixes? Or
Yes, they are.
Of course.
Yeah, but they're so big, they're their own dairy. They're their own dairy. Yes?
Yeah, question, if you want to make custards, like French vanilla and so forth,
yeah,
eggs are kind of tricky to do. What do you recommend?
There are ways to do eggs. If you talk to iRice Company, they have a terrific product. iRice is in Philadelphia, and they have a fantastic product called Bavarian Base. And this is the first ingredient is pasteurized egg yolks. So this is the way to do it. You just open this up and put it in. Eggs are very dangerous, extremely dangerous, and they just get more so. If you want to, and that's the health department. You buy that blend from the dairy, and you put this base into it from a can, and the health department says you don't have to repasteurize because this is an ingredient. This is how convoluted the laws are. They look at this as an ingredient, like putting in strawberries or mint chip. So you do this, and you've got a great base. There's a few places around the country that sell custard mix, and we have a custard setting on our machines. It's made with a very low air content. You just push custard, and it'll make you frozen custard. But putting egg yolks in yourself, I don't even like putting them into cake batter. Yes?
Pints. What do you think of the protein-infused pints that they sell at the supermarket? I think they taste like birthday cake frosting.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Oh, you mean like the Halo? Halo. Oh, here we go again. Last time I talked about this, I had to edit out the whole thing. So I'm not going to berate Halo again. But I'll just leave it at it's not a very good tasting ice cream. I doubt it'll be around much longer. It doesn't have, and it's really not what you're looking for. I'm working with some private entities connected to universities about adding protein, real protein. Whey isolate is when you take the byproduct of making cheese is this milky liquid called whey. And if you take that and condense it down and purify it and purify it and purify it, it comes out to be something called whey isolate protein. And I drink it a couple of times a day. It's not the most wonderful tasting thing in the world, but builds strong bodies 12 ways. But
that's what they said about Wonder Bread.
That's why I said it. That's why it's coming, and you're going to see it. But it's going to be done by individuals like yourself, who will have some videos on it one day, and it'll just say you add this much whey isolate to it, and it won't even be noticeable.
But why?
Because people are looking. In my personal case, being a diabetic, I'm so low on the protein blood test that I'm off the charts low. And so I could eat this product, and I'm going to eat ice cream anyway. Why not?
So this is where you intend to get your protein intake from, eating modified ice cream.
And I'm not going to do it from eating a steak. No, that's right.
Okay.
So there's a place for everything. So it's coming along. It'll never be a gigantic market, but it's going to be an interesting market. It's going to happen quickly. Yes?
I have a question on the machine. He was asking to get less air content and for it to be harder. Is there a setting on there?
Yeah. I invented the infinite overrun control, and nobody else has it. And it's really a simple process. You put heavy cream into this container, and you stir it by hand, and it's going to remain heavy cream. You can't stir it fast enough. You take an electric mixer and you put it in there, a cake mixer, and boom, it blows up into whipped cream. So my machines were always designed to make, if you want to call it that, whipped cream ice cream. We call it homemade ice cream. I designed a way to slow the drive down to any speed I want, and the slower I spin it, the less air I get in the product. The trick is, when you slow down a motor or when you dim the lights in your dining room, you got a 100-watt bulb and you're taking the power away. You dim it down to a romantic 20 watts and you've got very low light, but that bulb is barely even working. So if I did that to a machine, it would lock up, it would freeze up. My invention, which nobody has been able to copy for 16 years now, no matter how low I go, it's still the full horsepower of the motor. So it's opened it up from this just being a homemade ice cream machine to any frozen dessert on earth. And we're the only people who have it.
So when he pulls it out, it's not going to have more air, but it's going to be firmer ice cream.
Not necessarily firmer, because I want to be able to get it out of the machine. It's going to be more dense. It's going to weigh. I can double and triple the weight.
Setting on that for that?
There's a bunch of them. We started homemade. We go down to super premium. We go to gelato. Down to frozen custard is the heaviest.
So the frozen custard is the one that turns the least time?
That's correct.
So,
yeah.
Estaba diciendo de la pregunta que me hizo.
And nobody else can do that. Yes.
How does adding alcohol to the base ice cream?
It makes for a lot more fun ice cream. We are the only machines on the market. We're the only machines on the market where you can add alcohol right into the machine. Alcohol is not going to freeze. It freezes at, I think, minus 243. I could be wrong by a degree or two. But it's going to stay in suspension. So we're the only machines where the alcohol goes right into the machine, and it will freeze and stay in suspension in the ice cream. Every other machine on the market, they're not as powerful as ours, refrigeration-wise. You have to add it afterwards, and your problem is you immediately take hard ice cream and you're making it soupy, which is then going to cause it to have ice crystals. So I don't care what the alcohol is, it can go into that machine, and it's a lot of fun to do.
Thank you.
Yes?
On the pints, which you said is a hot market and all of that, do you just use your regular machine, take a pint, and it's like you just create your own little manufacturing line, or do you, how do you recommend to do that?
I can take a certain number of pints out of the machine. See, here's the problem. we could compare the batch freezer to your oven at home for a minute. Let's call your oven at home where you cook a batch oven, because it is. You're making a batch of something. You're putting a batch of steak into the oven. You're putting a batch of tater tots in, a batch of green beans. When that steak is done and it's medium rare in 10 minutes, you take the whole batch of steak out. We take the whole batch of ice cream out. If I wanted to fill pints, or if I wanted to take out individual slices of steak, you'd like one slice, he'd like a slice, you'd like a slice, and I'm cutting there at the oven and taking it out, it's medium rare. And then I go and get another one. It's a little more well done. And then keep going, taking out slices or pints out of the machine. That ice cream, the steak is transforming to be well done because it stayed longer in the oven. If it stays in the batch freezer, it's going to change the air content. It's going to be one air content, and then it's going to go up, 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 up. And the kiss of death of business is inconsistency. You want the same product as it was 5 years ago as it'll be 5 years from now. So, no, you can't successfully. You can do it. I have done pints, especially on the CB-350, because the quantity is smaller. But I know Cappigiani one time came out with a $3,000 optional head on their machine to fill pints. And it went off the market just as fast as it came on because it flew in the face of what a batch freezer is. A batch freezer is not a soft ice cream machine. It's not a one cone at a time. So all their pints coming out of it, you can't go against physics. Were getting lighter, and the first ones were heavy and the last ones were lighter. They got sued on, they had to take them all back. So the option is, the way I do it, if I have a big pint business, is I make 2 big tubs of mint chip, and I put them right away in the freezer. And then I go make another flavor, chocolate mint chip, and I put them in the freezer. And then after about 40 minutes, I pull the first tubs out, and I assign someone at a low salary level to take a spade, not a spoon or a scoop, but a spade, and I fill those pints. And I can do them very quickly and put them back in the freezer. Little secret, when you put them back into the freezer, take that pint and you just put the lid on it, turn it upside down, because now it'll freeze, and with gravity, when the customer takes the top off, it's full right to the top. If there happens to be a little air pocket in there, as soon as you put your spoon in it, it'll collapse. We're not cheating the public. It's already calculated into what a weight of a pint of ice cream has to be.
So you say.
Yes, and then if you want to spend $8,000, a company called Sawville, S-A-W-V-E-L, Sawville Automation, makes $1 million pint fillers, but they also make one for about $6,000 or $7,000. You make the ice cream, you pour it in a hopper, and you push a foot pedal. You put a pint under it, push the foot pedal once, take it away. Pint, foot pedal, pint, foot pedal. That's going to speed things up.
Is that another low-salaried employee?
Yes, but there are no low-salary employees anymore. I mean, labor and electricity are going to be your 2 most challenging costs going forward. So anything you can do to save on labor is great. Yes,
in the back.
There.
So, question just about that. I worry about labor, worry about electric, and worry about rent. Where's the best spot? I mean, if you want to get a great spot, like you're saying, in a rich neighborhood, you're going to be paying top dollar for that rent. So, does it justify? Are you able to make the money? No.
No.
So you really got to try to get middle class?
Absolutely middle class.
Anywhere. Your goal is not the income of the clientele. Your goal is the rent. Yeah. You got to think backwards. You have to assign yourself a value that you can afford to pay in rent. We know what that value is. We discuss it at length in my class, and that's where you look for a place. The way to do it is to go to the nicest part of town, the best area. I'd love to be in there. It's next to Macy's. It's 2 Italian restaurants. It'd be great. And then it's $7,000 a month, and you just can't do that. So then you get in your car and you drive in concentric circles till you find the magic number rent, and then you know where you have to open.
What's the magic number?
And what your wallet can afford.
I'll talk. It's
I got a place for $2,000 a month.
Okay.
It's a good neighborhood.
Okay.
A lot of people, they have money and everything.
Okay.
In New Orleans.
10
So
years lease.
that's pretty.
10-year lease. Okay.
That's pretty good.
You know, after 3 years, it goes up 150. My term, when the lease finish, I will pay 2,750.
Okay, that
10
might
years
work
from
for
No
you.
real estate tax, nothing. You pay the insurance and everything.
What's the square footage? How big is it?
1,500.
1,500. Is that a good size?
Hey, one thing about square footage. Do you know the difference? This is a facetious question. Do you know the difference between a 85 square foot that he started with and 3,300 square foot? The real difference between it? A whole lot of mopping. So you don't necessarily rate your success by the square footage. You buy square footage by what you need.
So what do you think, what would you need?
1,000?
1,000 square?
1,500? What would you say?
I know nothing.
Of course you do.
The optimum is $1,200 a month for 1,200 square feet. That's my target.
Okay.
I'm traveling down to South Florida next week to help 2 people open up stores, to find locations. And that's what we're going to look for. There are a few spots that are gold that you should look for, in my opinion, and that's what we'll do. And we'll do it in one day. I'll find them a spot in one day, both people, in different towns. It's simple, very simple.
1,200 and 1,200 square feet in South Florida?
Yeah, right outside of Aventura. And I haven't been there. I've never been there, but I'll find it. Because there's the secret spot that we look for, and they're there. They're there.
And so what if you get that, but you can't get a long lease? What if it's... they'll say,
Oh,
"Hey, we'll do
lease,
that."
I don't even concern
You don't
myself
care?
with a lease, no.
So what if it was a 3-year lease, you got it at 1,200, at the end of the 3rd year, they say, hey, listen, you're doing great, your rent's 3,600.
No, they're not going to do that. The most they're going to do is a cost of living, a COL, and that's 4.5. Maybe they'll go up 5, but they can't do the other way. And in 3 years, just my opinion, it won't matter. You'll be going to the bank every Monday with a satchel.
You will. We've just showed you what it costs to make the product.
I went to the bank with it yesterday.
I mean, I see, but the thing I worry about is ice cream's not like pizza. For instance, pizza's high markup also. People eat a lot of pizza. You don't have to get as many customers. It seems to me that you need to have more customers in the ice cream business than you would in a business that's more like...
Name one person that you know who doesn't eat ice cream. I can name a half dozen people who don't eat pizza, but I can't name anyone who doesn't eat ice cream. Jeff has said this over and over again. Everybody in the world either eats ice cream or wants ice cream. It's the only food that's that way. It is
Your
universal.
customer base is 7 billion people.
Yeah.
That's your customer base. Is that enough?
Well, I mean, obviously it's not in your area.
Wherever-
you can't focus 7 billion.
Right, but wherever you open up, let's say you open up in Passaic, New Jersey. I've never been there. You open up in Passaic, and the population of Passaic is 1.2 million people. How many of those 1.2 million people want what you're selling? I'd say 1.2 million. Everybody wants ice cream.
Yeah.
All you need to do when you find your place is put a sign with an arrow. 2 words with an arrow on the street. Ice cream that way. And then you'll get customers. And then me and 9 other people here will tell you how to make every customer come back. A repeat customer. And tell their friends about it. Yes?
So, we've been, going to a lot of ice cream stores lately, or shops. Some people, most make it on premises, but we actually have learned that not everybody does, or if they have more than one shop, they make it somewhere else and then they bring the ice cream to that shop. How important is it to say homemade on premises, do you think? Do people even care?
If you open up in your town selling Hershey's ice cream, let's say, fine, you're in business, you're selling ice cream, people are coming in. But anybody could come in and advertise homemade, and everyone's going to go to the homemade because we have a perceived notion. Back when I lived in Westchester County, we had a pastry shop, and right next door was a supermarket. The supermarket sold Mrs. Smith's pies. The pastry shop made his own fresh pies. everybody bought their pies at the pastry shop because you have it in your head that it's better, it's fresher, it's going to have less chemicals, and 99% of the time that's absolutely true. Turns out he was a lousy baker and the Mrs. Smiths would have been a better deal. But people, if you open up, if you're the first person in town, nobody else is going to come in and sell homemade ice cream if they have a quarter of a brain, because the best they could hope to do is to get half your business. And I tell them, you know, I'm not saying I'm the Oracle of Delphi, that I know what everybody's going to do, but if someone calls up here and says, oh, I want to open up in Savannah, Georgia, next to the Art University, I'd say, fine, you can do that, we can help you, but you know, there's already Leopold's Ice Cream, and he's been there since 1923, and if you're lucky, you might get 10% of his overflow. Why would you do it? You'd go pick another town where you can be the queen of the town. So you don't have that with Hershey's or Breyers or Bluebell or anybody else.
Well, to answer your question, there are 3 reasons why you're going to get into the ice cream business. Number 1 is profit. And you won't make much less profit selling pre-bought ice cream than you will your own ice cream. That's not going to be a determining factor, right? It's very small difference in the profit you'll make, very small. So why then would you choose to make your own ice cream? And the other reason is art. When you make your own ice cream, you can make your own flavors. You can come up with anything you want. You can go regional flavors, you can go ethnic flavors, you can make party flavors, you can make candy flavors. Wherever you are, you can gear your flavors to your market. And the other one is fun. And you'll have fun making your own ice cream. It's a blast.
So let me expand on that, because I know exactly where you're going. Yeah. The reason she's focusing on the made on premises. Yeah. Because on our property, we have a 2,400 square foot building that we could actually convert part of into a commercial kitchen, and then rent a smaller space in beautiful downtown historic McKinney and sell the ice cream there. So her point was, is that appeal made on premises that important, or could we make it back at our place?
The key is homemade.
Yeah.
I don't think people care if you make it here or here.
I think you're splitting hairs.
Yeah, you're splitting hairs. Homemade is homemade.
And listen, if you need to get the word out, do some school tours. I do a lot of homeschool tours where they want to show the kids what a factory looks like. It has nothing to do with the school. Do a few of those because the word will certainly get out. But no, that's really splitting hairs. It is homemade. Yeah. Just to tell you a very silly law, up in Connecticut, you can't say homemade ice cream unless you live in the building. It's got to be your home. Can't even be your second home. Can't even be an office. It has to be where you reside. The best you can do in Connecticut is made on the premises. I mean, that's ridiculous.
So I just want to add one thing to your thing, probably good for you. Yes, sir. Is now that you said that, right? They have their commercial where they're making the ice cream. They're supplying their store, right? Just like you said about the ice. If somebody comes over, hey, I want to buy ice cream, and he says, yeah, you want to open it up? Fine. He sells them the ice cream, but they say it's homemade because they made it. Does that work? Instead of him having a second location, he has one location making homemade ice cream. I come to him and say, I want to open up an ice cream store. I want to use his homemade ice cream. Mm-hmm. So can I put it on my store as homemade ice cream?
Absolutely. I've got a customer called Longford's Ice Cream.
Wholesale aspect of it. You know,
and you can have
great, but wholesale might be better for us.
Mm-hmm. And plus, you can always say, all the people that come to you, all those people can say, it's homemade ice cream.
I have a customer called Longford's Ice Cream up in Portchester, New York. Been around for quite a while. I put them in business. And they make homemade ice cream. And the restaurants he sell to, even he was in Yankee Stadium for a while, advertised Longford's Ice Cream because he had such a reputation. Van Leeuwen is the same way in Brooklyn. Again, one of ours. But Van Leeuwen is all over the place. But everybody knows it's homemade. Same thing with Ample Hills, one of ours. Now it's down in Disney. But people know it's homemade. It doesn't have to be made right in that building. I mean, I think it's kind of fun. If you notice my office here, there are windows looking to all the offices, because if I had all the money in the world in an ice cream parlor, I'd have a picture window into where I'm making the ice cream. Nobody knows how ice cream's being made, and it would be a lot of fun to show them. And then you become a destination besides a great product.
That's how Brooklyn Bagels does.
You have not seen his hidden talent. Jeff's hidden talent is he is a magician, and he can dazzle you with his magic. And every once in a while at his store, he shows it off, and it just adds to the charm of the store. People like that. They like that they're dealing with the owner. The owner is right there, and I mean that's a huge advantage I've always had all my life. Is you're dealing with the president and CEO of the company. What could be better? So it's not some giant conglomerate. People like to know there's a Thompson behind.
Any other
Emery
ice
Thompson.
cream questions?
And the other one. With ice cream, can you mix something? Can you sell something that's like panini or?
No,
nuts.
No,
It's too confused.
Muffins.
no, because now you're losing sight of what you are. Are you an ice cream parlor or making paninis?
Actually, what I was thinking to put like cafe in the morning, coffee in the morning.
You're not an ice cream parlor then?
And mix it up.
No, you
Because
can't.
ice cream doesn't sell in the morning, it doesn't sell when it gets cold.
That would be like me selling DeLorean cars because I know stainless steel, or refrigerators because I know refrigeration. It would be diluting my brand. Stick to what you know and what you can do. We're going to break for lunch. Anybody need to see me because I'll be leaving here after the next ice cream? Come on in and see me in my office, but we're going to get the food rolling. Is that good with you?
What?
Yeah. Okay, the next thing we're going to make is a blueberry wine sorbet. Again, sorbet, remember that? It's Italian ice with a fancy name. So we're just going to make it even fancier. If you'll pass those around. By adding some wine to it. And I can see the first thing I've got to do is go get my corkscrew. So I'll be right back. I'll get the corkscrew.
It's not in a box?
No, it's not in a box. That was when I was in college. Okay, I'm just getting the water together and 2 pounds of sugar.
What?
This is an easy recipe.
No, I'm going to add these after, as it's right. Yeah, this is going in the machine. How about all those strawberries Steve put in for his ice?
Those web restaurants sell what?
He put them whole, right in.
Yes, most likely, yeah. It's called a ice cream server. And it's filled with antifreeze, so you freeze it down and it'll keep Italian ice for several hours.
Can I help you? Well, how much sugar you need?
I could use 2
pounds of sugar.
2 pounds of sugar. 2 pounds of sugar.
2 pounds of sugar.
Oh, and the water. Okay.
Screw top?
No, they're not screw top. You got something against screw top?
No, not at all. I was just wondering whether you need a corkscrew.
Yeah, but where did I put the corkscrew? Oh, there it is. Anybody here own or shoot guns? Oh, yeah. My father was invited to a party once for Mr. Beretta, and who was it was a big birthday party. I'm going to fill these 2 bottles, so let me do that. So those of you who don't know, Beretta is a very famous Italian gun maker going back to the 1640, and So Mr. Brett is coming to this birthday party, and my father's friend, the founder of Alcoa Aluminum, was holding the party, and he knew there was going to be just all sorts of fancy people and fancy gifts, and sure enough, the gifts were just unbelievable. Dueling pistols and just all sorts of amazing things. And my father knew he couldn't compete with that. And so he gets up there, and he's got a bottle of in his hand that's in a bag. And he gets up there and talks about how he and his brother are in the South Bronx, so they got this small little business that makes ice cream machines. It was small and little back then. And he said, we have a side business where we bottle and distill the Harlem River. And so with that, he then says, and we've got a blend that we distilled of whiskey. It's 17 hours old. And it's been aged for 17 hours, and he pulls out a bottle of the cheapest bourbon you can buy. It says Old Thompson on it. Old Thompson bourbon. And he says, we made this just for you, and presents it as a gift. Everybody else is giving $10,000 gifts and stuff. And Beretta wrote him back, and he said, that was the most fun and best gift I ever got. Well, fast forward about 30 years, I don't think my selection in wine is much higher than, Old Thompson. But the wrapper looked nice. So this is pretty simple. It's 2, 2, and 2. 2 pounds of sugar, 2 bottles of wine, and I'm going to refill the bottles with water, and that'll be the water. So 2, 2, and 2.
So why do you say bottle of water?
Oh no, I'm going to just refill these. So I could have just said 2 bottles of 750 milliliter water.
What is that wine you're using?
I don't know. Old rot gut.
What if you were to price?
The price was well under $10 a bottle.
That doesn't mean it.
I'm done.
But it's a red wine.
The millennials talk differently. You saw Christy in here before. If you made fun of me buying under $10 bottle of wine, she would go, don't judge me. I go, if I hear don't judge me one more time, I'm going to... Yeah, it is.
You can do it. Yeah. Take it from here to here. You can do that. Got it? Oh, what happened? Very slow. Very slow. Very slow. From here.
Yes.
Do you use like a sweeter or a dry wine? Does it matter?
I use a dry wine. Yeah, because that's the taste I'm going for.
No blueberries? You could add blueberries too.
I've got the bag here.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you want to start opening them? I got a feeling that they're in individual bags.
Really?
Yeah, a little crazy.
Any type of wine? So you use any type?
Yes.
Wine?
Yes.
Absolutely. And then you don't just stop there. We have the bourbon around, not just for Friday afternoons. It actually goes in the ice cream. My uncle used to make rum raisin ice cream, and he said the way you do it is you buy the golden raisins. I don't know if I have a box of them. You buy the golden raisins, not the dark ones. The golden raisins, and you put them in a bowl, and you cover it over with a good Crucian rum, and you put it in the refrigerator, and you let it sit for a week. Now, the key to it, he said, though, is you have to go in every night and check on how it's going, because these are going to absorb the rum. So he would check it every night. And in fact, by the end of it, either they were all absorbed or he had drunk all the rum that was in there. But then it was ready for the ice cream. I do make a great Christmas ice cream. Grand Marnier liqueur is a French orange liqueur. It's about $40 a bottle. It's outrageous. But it's got this great orange flavor. And I take just plain old ice cream mix, a bottle of the Grand Marnier liqueur into the 24 quart, and about 6 lemons or oranges, and I grate off the outside zest, the specks, throw that in. I end up with a pure white ice cream with little specks of orange in it, and the taste and the aroma of the Grand Marnier. It's way too expensive. You know, we talked about don't worry about the cost. It's way too expensive to sell to anybody, but you got a good relative, it sure beats sending a tie. You know, it's a lot nicer gift. So we got everything here. I'm going to make sure the gate is closed. Open that up.
Perhaps we can put something below your...
Do you have alcohol license?
Most likely, but check with your local state. They all vary. New York State, where I'm from, has got more rules and regulations than you can shake a stick at, but they're very lenient on alcohol. So it really depends on the state and the situation. The blueberries. Oh, here they are here. Okay, so this is all set. We're making a sorbet. I'm going to hit... do I have a setting for sorbet? Sorbet. That's on. Turn that on, and we're in business. Not worrying about mixing. The machine's going to mix it now. And in go the blueberries.
Ooh, take one.
One. Yeah, thanks. Thawed.
Frozen.
Jeff, do you do thawed or frozen? But you puree them.
No, I put in thawed.
Okay.
But they were frozen.
Yes, they were. How many bags so far?
Just throw them in.
All right.
Because you'll get a lot of your sweetness from this too.
Yeah.
What about this? You don't want to add this, huh?
No, I've got enough liquid in here.
Okay.
I've got a little extra liquid. And that's it. That was simple. Now we'll just wait a few minutes and it'll be ready. After this, I will be leaving, but after Jeff is finished today, Mike is going to take you on a tour of the factory. And any questions, you can call here anytime and ask for me. You can email me at steve@emerythompson.com. I didn't put in a plug for boot camp, which I want to do. After Jeff started in the back of the room and then started doing these classes with me, he decided, you know what, we really need a teacher who knows what they're doing, because we know that idiot Steve Thompson doesn't know what the heck he's doing. So he started up Ice Cream Boot Camp, which those of you watching this video, this is down in Central West Florida. You can fly into Orlando or you can fly into Tampa. And there's a lot of people in the audience today who took the class. I think it's the greatest training going on. You look at some of the other courses out there, they're very expensive. They're a little too foo-foo for me. This is down to earth, real talk of this is what you can do and this is how you can do it. And in Jeff's class, you're not only going to actually run the machines, he's going to be sitting in a barca lounger barking orders, figures. And you're going to run the machine, and you're going to be responsible for the ice cream, and you're going to clean the tables, you're going to greet the customers and scoop the ice cream to them, and he'll sit there and take all the accolades while you're doing all the work. People are going to walk over and tell him how great he is. If there's any free time, he's going to have you put 2 coats of wax on that new Volkswagen of his. So you're going to learn a whole lot about the business. I highly recommend it. My classes were set up first, and then Jeff's came along, and we got together, and what we do is his class is on a Monday and Tuesday, and then of course this one's on a Wednesday. You have to, if you're signing up for Jeff's class, you also have to sign up for mine. It doesn't come automatically, or you can just sign up for mine. But if you want real training, and gee, there's nothing more important in any business than getting information. If you can get good information, why reinvent the wheel when someone's already done it for you? If you can get really good information, you're going to be that much more successful. He charges for the class. It's not outrageous, and it's definitely worth it. So check it out. And the next one is April Fool's Day. So they're a lot of fun. And Jeff, I don't think I have ever heard anyone have but just the greatest accolades for your class.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
They really love it.
Yeah?
Okay. You forgot to plug in your golf cart?
No, the freezer in my car.
Oh, the freezer. Okay. You forgot to do it?
No, I figured at lunchtime.
Oh, I thought Andy was doing it this morning.
It takes an hour to get down to -2 degrees.
Okay. Huh. Pretty good. Any questions? No? Yes, okay.
Comes with the booklet to see the
No booklet. No, you got to wing it.
What do you say?
Does your machine come with a booklet?
Oh, it comes with a real instruction manual. Yeah. No, it's not like the iPhone where if I hear that word intuitive one more time, oh, it's intuitive. That means, yeah, good luck. You figure it out. No, it comes with a real instruction book and real live people. We are available even nights and weekends to answer questions. We're very serious about this being a family business and taking care of our family. Speaking of which, can I borrow $5? But
are we doling it out in the?
Yeah.
Are we putting it in these?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any of those hand crank machines for sale?
No, but you can get that on
any flea market.
You can get that on eBay and Amazon. This is what I have it around because this is what my grandfather was using back in 1903 to make ice cream in the world's largest department store. And you put rock salt and ice in here. The salt lowers the freezing point of ice, and you put all your ingredients in the center. And then for 40 minutes, you turn a crank. And that made you a quart of ice cream. And that's the way all ice cream was made. So when we invented our machine, I'll pass this around for you to see. This is the first mechanized batch freezer ever made. And that was my grandfather's invention. So every batch freezer that's on the market today is based on his original patents. And this was patented in, I think, 1905, 1906. And that's what started our company. So it truly is homemade ice cream. It is the homemade process. Just, we've gone from 40 minutes with rock salt and ice, shoveling ice.
It's the homemadiest.
It's what?
It's the homemadiest.
It is the homemadiest. 8 minutes for ice cream, 14 for ices.
Emery Thompson little thing like that, or just a different?
No, it'll actually be a White Mountain.
Oh.
Yeah, White Mountain is the company. We just put our tag on it.
You wanted Emery Thompson?
No.
I know what you wanted.
I'm sorry?
What's your number one selling machine?
What's our number one selling machine? Used to be the 24. Now it's this one, the CB-350. The 350 does everything the 24 does, but in a smaller package and much less price. This is 27.2 and this is 10.9. So big difference. That's coming along nicely.
Small machine that you made? The real small one?
You mean this thing right here, or the small, or the next one up?
The 175 I think it is. And the 170 CB.
Our lowest machine is I think $3,300.
Yeah,
That's this.
Oh, that's this one.
Yeah. No, I think that's too small to start a business because it's just too labor intensive. A batch on this one's going to take 18 minutes, and it's going to make a quart and a half. You'd be up all day, all night.
So what is that for?
This is for high-end restaurants that are small. We sell it to them. We sell it to wine bars that want to make this product, and they have wine and cheese, and they want to add this to it. I sell a lot to uber rich people who want one down by their pool or their tennis court.
What's the next size up for that?
Next size up, you'll see it on the tour, is almost a triangle design machine, horizontal, and it's 3 quarts.
How much is that?
I think that's about $6,500, $6,700.
No.
It's still too small.
No. Take your 15 and buy the CB-350 for 11.
Yeah.
And you'll be in business.
Yeah.
And if you sell it in 9 months, as you will, to buy the 24, you'll sell it for 10 in an hour.
Yeah, really. That's it. You won't find a used Emery Thompson anywhere, especially not on eBay. But if you put one up there, I get calls. If someone puts up a Emery Thompson, I'll get 40 calls in a couple hours. And I tell, by the time I get to the 40th call, I already tell them,
now,
I know it may still be up there, but you're too late. It's already been, I'm sure it's been sold. Now all I'm doing is just checking it, just like my wife checks the cake to see how it is. I'm just seeing how the freezing's going. You want to try this, Jeff? See how it is?
Sure.
As you said,
already?
as you almost.
Is this a used spoon?
No, it's new.
Look at the color of that. Extraordinary.
Huh?
Extraordinary.
It is? How's the wine?
The wine is great.
You can taste
the
it?
blueberries. Go ahead.
Could have been a better blueberry.
Could have been pureed.
Okay. Oh, you're right. I think I meant to. All right, so now you're going to see it without pureed blueberries, but know that you could even get more flavor out of them by putting them through the Ninja.
It's not, to me, it's not the flavor. To me, it's the icy blueberry. You know, I don't like the icy, but some people will.
Mm-hmm. Now, the alcohol will make the product look a little bit wetter because it's just in suspension, but it's all well frozen. That's looking pretty good. I'll pull that out shortly.
And tell everybody, if anybody can't have alcohol, don't have this.
Oh yeah. If you don't consume alcohol, don't eat this because that's real alcohol.
And you can taste it.
Okay, that looks good. I think I'll start fresh. All right, here we go. Gotta turn that off.
Look at the color. What a beautiful color. Boy, you made great stuff today.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I need something to smooth it out. Here we go.
Oh.
I'm sorry, was someone asking a question?
Put this underneath the spout.
Okay.
What about the price point on? I've heard you say $2.50, $1.50. How do you know what to set the price for on Italian ice and the regular squeeze stuff?
For the Italian ice, I ran into a guy who really had a really good theory. He would look around and see what Coke and Pepsi were selling for, and he said, "I'm a better product than Coke and Pepsi, a lot better." So he would find out what their price was and then mark it up higher.
I love their color.
It's one way of doing it.
I think it's gonna be pretty.
Beautiful. Mucho.
Mike, you want to try this?
Muy bueno.
Sure. There's wine here.
Excuse me. Gonna grab one for Mike.
Thank you.
So she had a good question.
Yes.
The question was, is there an amount that you serve before it becomes illegal, like too much wine?
Again, you got to talk to your local state health board. They all vary. Most places are going to consider it an ingredient.
That's pretty wild.
Well, I mean, pastry shops have been doing it for years. A baba rum,
one more.
Rum cake. I mean, these things are saturated with rum.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would make a minor deal out of it. I'm more concerned of the type of business you are running. Are you more of an adult crowd, or is it going to be neighborhood kids? The mother's not going to want the neighborhood kids coming in. So you had to look individually at each store.
No, half and
very much.
And goodbye.
No, over 21.
Yes. Is it good? I've never had it. I've never tasted it.
I can eat it for you.
Good.
What?
No, but
that's
good
right.
stuff. Folks, I have to leave. I want to thank you all for coming. Yep, there's my timer.
Oh.
Should be ready.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Speaking about they're legalizing marijuana.
Yeah,
They have
CBD.
it in oil- Yeah, CBD.
Yeah.
What about that? Can you use that
Yes,
as an ingredient?
you can.
Wow.
Yeah. Would I want to? I don't know. I haven't decided.
Did you get any? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that one. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, I've got.
They'll have CBD oil.
Oh, they're using regular marijuana in it.
Oh, I'd love you to
I have a lot of.
CBD doesn't have to come
What?
from marijuana.
No.
You can get it from hemp.
Okay,
Oh,
how was
right.
that? That's good.
Right.
The blueberry should have been pureed, correct? Right.
Okay.
Because you don't want to
Thank you.
taste that beautiful ice and then crunch into a hard blueberry. Okay. Oh, you're still here?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Good luck, everybody.
You're going to miss out on the best one.
Okay. So, I could go for some ice cream. How about you? I never made this, but as I said, I was in Restaurant Depot and bought a box that's Ghirardelli fudge brownie with chips. So I thought, okay, so last night my wife made the box and she said, there's an awful lot of brownies here. It's, it's like Tide, that kind of box. So I said, well, make them. You can't stop now. So she made all these brownies, and I've got a bag of them here, and I've got some crumbled up here, and I gave Paula some. So with what's left, we'll make ice cream. It can't be bad. So what we'll do is our secretary there is making notes. We're going to start with 5 quarts of mix. 5 quarts of mix. 5. How many?
5.
Okay, 5 quarts of mix. By the way, for you people who think that handling the bladders is tricky, Steve and his engineers are coming up with a holder. So you'll place the bladder in a holder and simply lift and pour as much as you want. It should be ready soon. He's got an amazing set of engineers here. This is quite the place. Okay. So we have 5. We'll add some vanilla, right? Why not? I'm not paying for it. How many? 5 ounces. Let's put 5 ounces of vanilla in. You know what? I bet if you measured it, it would be darn close. 56,000 gallons of ice cream. Okay. I also thought we'd add a little of this excellent Hershey's. Can't be too chocolatey, can it? Chocolate fudge brownie chip. Come on. And we have chips. Now, do we buy Xavier Walmart brand chocolate chips, or do we get real Hershey's chips that are 100% chocolate chips? Of course. Do we get Schmocklet syrup, or do we get Hershey's? Of course. You get what you know. So we'll start this up. Because you'll make pennies less, but the quality will be just eons out there. So we'll just add a little of this till we see what it tastes like. How much was that? Okay. Okay, a cup. Now we'll throw these, how about some chips? We'll throw some chips in. What? Oh. We'll put chips in. 1 quart. 1 quart of chips. And then we'll throw the brownies in. You want to know how much this weighs? That would be a good thing. We'll put in 2.2 pounds of brownies. We'll make it 2 pounds because the bag weighs something. This is, why'd I break them up? Because we're going to add them as it comes out. Okay. Just for kicks. Something I don't do at the store, as you know, but give them a splash of class. Now you see how we're adding these? It's unbelievable. I got to tell you, these machines are crazy. These are the hard ones, by the way. And they just go right in. Should we add them all? Otherwise, he's going to eat them. What?
Is it cooling on yet?
No.
Okay.
No fingers. Got to get that brownie in there, though. Okay. Okay, we put everything in there? Everything is in there? Okay. Now we'll fire it up.
So why did you turn it up? It says you're going.
Break them down?
My machine doesn't have the infinite overrun control. My machine has 1 speed. Maximum, 234. So somehow I must have pressed, because I'm not used to the keyboard, I must have pressed the wrong level, and it was only at 140, and I know it was making a sound, and so I upped it to full speed ahead.
Have the other option?
Yes, do I know why? Sure. Of course I know why. What do you think? I just got off a boat?
Yes. Why?
Why doesn't my machine have it? That's a long story. It was an option, and I needed a machine quickly. And he said, well, I have a 24 quart because in my class... What?
It's specific to your machine.
No. Most people, half the people have it, half don't. But in my class, a girl wanted to buy my machine, my other machine. And I said, okay. And she paid me and then came with a trailer and took my machine. I called Steve and I said, I need a machine now. And as he'll tell you, and other people will tell you, if you order a machine now, it'll take 6 weeks. So how long? 2 weeks. I couldn't wait. I needed a machine tomorrow. So he said, well, I have this one. And I said, I'll take it. What?
That was risky.
It was what? Risky? Nah. Gotta live on the edge. Stay in your lane, bro. Okay, so we are ready to roll, I guess, right? We're making ice cream. I want to taste it and see if we need more. I don't know. It's ridiculous how good that is and how easy it is. Hey, this is my last product. Okay. So, what else? Any questions? The purpose of this class, what's the purpose of this class? In my opinion, the purpose of this Wednesday class is to show you two things. One, the total simplicity of making anything. It's just the simplest thing. I don't measure much, and yet everything comes out perfect. A little sweeter, a little firmer, but it's the simplicity of using this with ingredients you can buy anywhere. Walmart, Restaurant Depot, anywhere. So the simplicity is one reason that I think this class works for you guys. The other reason is, yes, it's simple, but it's not an exact science. It's more an art than a science. There's art involved and there's science involved. Science, yeah, we know we need 5 quarts of mix in this machine. My machine, I know I need 10. This machine, you need 2.5. Those are scientific givens. But other than that, you can throw in anything you want. If your wife made a great pecan pie last night and most of it was left over, then why not make some pecan pie ice cream? So put your mix in the machine, take the pecan pie, throw it in, and you'll have pecan pie ice cream. So there's art and science. And I think that's what we want to impress upon everybody. You don't have to be him. You can even be him and do it. They were both in the class. But anyway, that's what I think. I think to show you how easy it is to use the machine, because a lot of people are intimidated by the machine. You know, it's a big piece of steel and it makes noise and it's got a compressor, but it's really very simple. How about maintenance on these machines? No maintenance. Some O-rings, how often?
6 months.
Every 6 months, change 2 little O-rings that cost $3. It's ludicrous. And they're built like tanks. They're built like tanks. I mean, you can't hurt the machine. God, that's why you can get into business for $15,000. You can spend $11,000 and have this beautiful baby here. If you don't want to buy, how much was the stand? If you don't want to spend $500 on this beautiful stand, go to Harbor Freight, get a wheelie cart. It happens to fit exactly on a wheelie cart. $80. You put it together yourself. I'm sorry, Steve. But if you're going in at 15, those are the things you want to save on. Get the machine, save on the stand. Get a chest freezer. You want to buy that freezer there? That'll cost you $18,000. You want to go to Sam's Club and be in business? It'll cost you $140 for a chest freezer. You want one like that? It'll cost you $500. Do they ever break? Do chest freezers ever break? They never break. So if you want to get into business with no debt, that's what I would do. No debt. Yes, I want the fancy granite countertop and I want it to swirl this way and I want black and white tile and yeah, I would like a chair bar across the thing and I want special paintings on the wall. Yes, you'll be in it for 80 grand and then you got to get a machine for another 27 or 11 and before you know it, you're backwards 100 grand. Now think about this, you're backwards 100 grand, you're selling a $5 product. You talk about volume, there isn't enough volume in the world to get that back. So it's a formula for failure. Holy cow. Do you see you can start at any level. Here's a girl right here, very smart girl. She was voted #1 in our recent class. And what did she do? She started in a farmer's market with a Cuisinart or whatever, a small, making ice cream in a farmer's market. Smart. She's made money. She ordered a machine today.
I didn't quit my job until I made money.
Correct. Yeah. Make your money, then do it. It's so easy today to use your credit card and buy and overextend. And that would be okay if what we're selling is battleships, but we're selling a $5 item. So just think, 70 grand you're going to put into this new store. Just divide 5 into that and see how many customers. And you know it's not a true 5. When you sell 5, you're not making 5. You're making $350 on a triple net. So divide it by 350 and see how many customers you're going to need before you make $1. $1. A year? $14,005. A year? You want to work a year for the bank? I don't want to do that. I want to open my store Monday and Tuesday make money and the following Monday make a deposit in the bank and start building up my money. And then in 9 months, sell your CB-350 for 10 grand. 1 hour on eBay, it's gone. Sell it for 10 grand and then buy this because you've got the cash now to buy it. What happened? What happened?
I think you tapped the screen.
What happened?
I think you tapped the screen.
What do I do now, oh wizard?
Turn off the freezer.
See, the guy behind the curtain's just a guy.
Where are we at?
Yeah. And now hit the freezer?
Freezer, yeah.
You need to stay away from that machine.
So that makes sense to me, New York. Depends if you're in it to make money. You know, I mean, most people want to make money at this. And if the younger you are, the smarter you are. Because I didn't get into this business till I was 60. If I had gotten in it after I graduated college, ridiculous. But I got into it at 60. It took just 7 years to make the first $1 million. We're open, by the way, 4 hours a night. That's it. 6 nights a week. We're open a total of 24 hours a week. You're coming tonight, right? Yes. You probably have to stand in line. What? No, no free pass. Are you kidding? If I let you in front of I'm not at the door, but.
You've never seen old angry people, have you?
Gang up on you.
Name that tune. Name that tune? Name that tune.
You have a karaoke night?
Last night.
Tuesday and Friday. Who asked that? Oh, Tuesday and Friday. Okay, we ready? Let's let it go a little more. Oh, I didn't do this. No? Okay. What?
Where's your shop at?
Like the Gong Show.
No, you. Renisa. We're gonna add this as we extract, all right? What do you want to do, add or open?
I'll open.
Okay. So we ready?
I am.
Hang on. Okay.
Here we go. I'm going up to that line.
It's kind of a simple operation here. Oh, you're doing the turn? You didn't tell me you were doing, what about the rag? The rag. You're doing the turn. Okay, go. Okay.
She's done this.
Now, let's see if we can get one of these.
Where would you like this?
Oh, right here.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Making sure.
Ah, what the hell? Throw it in. Okay.
That's Todd's private one.
You know what? Let's hold it. Oh, huh? Okay. Let's put something under there. Okay, let's eat.
It was down from 79 to 65, so it's going down.
What do you think I should wait until?
We'll check it again.
Okay. Okay, first in line.
Ooh la la.
Ooh, I love when you do that. All right. My other great female student.
That's one question I had. I saw that you threw that in at the end instead of mixing it in. You can't mix it in when it's making it. Anything you're going to put like cookies and stuff,
no.
It always goes in at the end.
Right, either the beginning or the end.
Okay. In the beginning, you mean throw it in before you?
Yeah, you saw we put them all into the beginning. Move along, son.
Okay. Aye, aye, Captain.
Hey, how did you do Jackson?
Oh, that one.
Thank you.
Jackson.
You think you'll start selling this now in your shop?
I don't know, I have to taste it. I haven't tasted it yet. You'll be before me.
Okay.
I know the creamsicles go on in my shop.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he's
So
probably
you
gonna
take it out like this,
moves it.
all your stuff? You
Yeah,
take out like
yeah.
this.
Very Marnier, right?
So does that also help with the less air in it, or?
Stay in your lane, bro. Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, he was, the first one he was gonna call strawberries and cream.
Okay. Had you frozen
Mm.
the brownies, or were they,
No.
okay.
They were just stale.
If you're a chocolate person, this is like over the top.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the thing.
What?
I'm saying, even if you don't, this is amazing.
You tasted it?
I already tasted it. It's
Huh.
great.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
We have a wiener?
Sarah, you're the best, Jeff.
What does he want?
Take the class, you'll get the secret.
Wow, for him to say it's good.
He's a chocolate guy, I guess.
Mike, you want some?
Of course.
Okay.
Where is it?
I thought it was something you microwave the brownies. Like, oh, you didn't like that one?
No, he wants this one.
I see.
He wants this one.
Thanks. Good thing I'm driving. Got to have to stop. Or we get back to town.
You got it, my man. Yeah. So, is it edible? It's good?
No, I don't think you should eat it.
Well, if it's good, I'll make it for the store because those boxes of brownies, they give you so much. And I don't know how much it costs. Isn't it great to see? Here's the thing. New York, here's the thing. It's great to go into business and not owe any money. Yeah, everybody wants that, or the 24. We all do. We all want to be in the big shopping center. We all want to have an Italian restaurant next door. We want to live where the soccer moms take their kids to school every day. But it's not only isn't it necessary, it's counterproductive. Because who came to me? Somebody in the class, $5,000 a month. Was it Rollin?
Yeah.
A couple was in the class this week. Oh, listen to this. Now they're buying a frozen yogurt store that went out of business. And they're paying $55,000, 18 years in that location. And they're paying $55,000 for the store and then another $25,000 for the machine, for the 24-quart machine. So they're at $80,000 minus $80,000. And I said, what are you getting for the $55,000? Oh, we got it all. I said, well, you don't have the machine, so what are you getting? Oh, well, there's a table in there, a stainless steel table. We have a sink. What are they getting? They're getting nothing for that money. Yogurt, 18-year-old yogurt machines that they're not going to use. So there's $55,000 that seemed like a good idea at the time. Oh, it's all set up, but it's not all set up. Yogurt is different than ice cream. So hopefully I know we changed the name. They were going to call it, what are they going to call it? Some
Ice crema by Sarah.
Ice crema, yeah.
Ice crema.
By Sarah.
Ice crema.
By Sarah.
What the hell is ice crema? You know? So I got them to change the name to Sarah's Ice Cream. Can't beat that. You know what you're getting. Ice crema. What is that? Give me an ice. What's an ice crema? So it's not always what you think. They're paying all that money for something that most of it they won't use.
But then what is their monthly payment? It could be less than what they pay in rent, and then if they need.
No, there's a lease on the
No,
place.
they're not buying the property. They're buying the business.
Oh.
It's in a building, they're buying.
Doesn't sound that bad to me.
No, no.
Oh, so they paid $55,000 just to take fix it.
It was.
Ooh, that's good.
$5,000 a month is their. How many $5 ice creams you gotta sell?
Even in the first month was
Right. Just remember, whatever money you're spending in the beginning of your venture, just think about $5 ice creams. It's okay if you're selling computers where they're $1,000 each, but you're selling a $5 ice cream. How many customers do you need? And remember, the $5 isn't $5. You've got to net that down, triple net that down. Your rent has to come out of there, your employees, your cost of goods, your napkins, your spoons, your containers, your lights, your electric, your water. It's all got to come out of that $5. Luckily, the profit in ice cream is very, very high. So the $5, $3.75, clear, which is astronomical. There isn't another product in the world that gives you that kind of money. But take your money and divide it by $3.75. How many customers do I need to break even? And then figure out how many customers you're going to see a day. Well, when you open up, if you're open 10 hours, which most ice cream places 1 to 10 at night, so how many customers will you see in the beginning? 50? 80? You need a lot more customers and a lot more time to repay that big nut. Whereas if you start really on the cheap, 15 grand, or 13 if you're really frugal, then you're making money that week. You're good. When you go make a deposit, it's your money. Your money goes into your account, and you can count it up and know that it's going towards your next machine or the fancy counter. Have your priorities. What do you want? Keep the money in the store, and then when you have a surplus, gee, you know, I'd like that granite countertop. I don't know why, but my counter happens to be, coincidentally, my counter is 4 foot by 8 foot. Why is that? Because that's a sheet of plywood. That's how big my counter, true or not, that's my counter, 4 by 8. And we're doing just fine. They'll have to wait online tonight for 20 minutes to get an ice cream. So that's all it is. Any questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. So how can we open a business like yours where you open 4 hours a night, 6 days a week, instead of having to, have it open 10 hours?
Okay, here's the answer. I hate kids. That's it.
Okay. So find an adult place.
What?
Find the place where there's a lot of adults where you can...
No, they'll come. Remember, those 2 words with the arrow, and people will come. And after you learn the secret of how to keep them and tell their friend, the whole deal starts with that, then you'll build your business. Kids, let me tell you something. Homemade ice cream is not as hard as regular ice cream. When you go to the supermarket and buy your super premium ice cream, it's hard. So you can put that in a cone and go for 40 minutes. Homemade ice cream in a cone, even a big waffle cone, will melt quicker. So now put that into an 8-year-old's hands who's distracted by everything, and he's running his computer with his thumb, and the ice cream's dripping. I don't want to have to clean that up all day. But that's just me. I'm a quirky guy. I don't want kids in my store. We get them, but we try to usher them out as quickly as possible.
You put them on the wheel.
Right. Free kid. So that's why I'm only open 4 hours a night. When I sell the business, which I'm about to do because I want to move to the beach and open up one there. When I sell the business, whoever takes it over will naturally, there's a school 2 blocks away, an elementary school where the moms pick up the kids every day. And there's thousands of kids. 3 miles the other way, there's a middle school and a high school. So whoever buys it will keep it open 1 to 10, 6 or 7 days a week. And they'll do their million much quicker than I did mine. But it's all what you want. It's all what you want. It's all what you want. I'm very happy. I I don't have to be open every day. I go in Wednesday and Thursday and play. I do a little magic at the tables, and everything's great.
So when you're not there, you have to worry about...
You said you had one question.
Oh, sorry. Do you have to worry about them stealing because it's like a cash business? How do you keep tabs on the money coming in with all your...
Ready? You should write this down. You'll remember it. Don't worry. Be happy. That's all. Because one of the girls asked me if I do cameras in my place. You did that. She said, do you have cameras by the register? And I said, no, because as soon as you put the cameras in, they'll know how to beat it. You know, I would. I know how to beat the cameras. You're not going to do this. That's silly. But you figure it out. They're better than us. They're quicker than us. I sleep very well. If they need a few dollars and they take a few dollars, I'm okay with it. Cost of doing business. That's the magic words. There's always a cost to do business. Yeah. So they steal a little. We have a coffee bar, a cappuccino bar for those people who are dietetic, diuretic, dianetic. They can't eat ice cream. So we sell coffees. The coffee bar, there's no cash register. It's a cigar box. So, how do you keep track of that? You don't. You think at the end of the night, that's about right. We have kids working there and we have older ladies working there. And if they need it that much, it's okay. Let them take it. They're not going to take $100 a night. So you'll come up 20 short. I can live with that. It's okay. They need it. I'm okay. Everything's good.
That's an excellent attitude.
What?
That's an excellent attitude. Yeah. Excellent. That's an excellent attitude.
Oh, well, otherwise, you're going to fret. And I don't want to fret. Don't worry. Be happy.
Do you have any cashier openings?
We have a very good lady at the cashier. Last week, we were $120 short. $120 short one night. 120 short. We found it, of course. Nobody steals that kind of money. We'll take in, should I say that? I don't know. We'll take in 8, 9, 10, 11, 1,200 in a night, and 120 is noticeable. So nobody's going to steal $120 in a night. Like I said, 20, okay, I can live with that. All right, any other questions about anything? Somebody took a book and didn't pay for it, but that's okay too. Don't worry. Be happy. There's a factory tour. Hold it. We have to consult the wizard. Mike, is there a factory tour?
There is a factory tour.
All right.
Following Jeff's presentation.
So he will take you on a tour. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email's on the board there. And you can call Steve anytime. Steve is impeccable. He answers every phone call, every question. He'll never leave you hanging. You're getting a lot more than a machine when you get an Emery. It's just, if you're going to be in business for the long haul, and remember, what's number 4? No plan B. No plan B. You go into business, you're in business. Okay, thank you all very much, and have a great day.